Welcome back. We're gonna continue our series, I guess now. I was a teenage exocolonist. It's gonna be part 3. I believe I'm in year 15. And everything just kind of went to crap last time. So, yeah, age 15. Yeah. Everything's just kind of ruined. Recorders, command, geoponics, gone. Expeditions, destroyed. This, destroyed. The only thing that remains standing is engineering. Well, that sure sucks. Just is examining a bit of rubble, turning it over in his hands. I wonder if we're ever gonna find alien tech, he says. Wouldn't that be cool? Well, everything got destroyed and you're still thinking about alien tech? I know it's hard, Cal says, fiddling nervously with a tassel on his shirt. But I just think, what would your mom do right now? She wouldn't complain, that's for sure. You're right. And I probably could have saved my mom. Probably could have. But that's for another run, I suppose. There are 29 endings to this game. So. It's been hard to talk to your dad about everything. Losing your mom, then losing the colony right after. It's too much to take. Neither of you know what to say. And that's fair. I'm gonna pet my little guy. I'm gonna go talk to these guys. Mars crosses her arms and sulks. What is the point of having all these kudos so I can't actually use them to, buy stuff we need? Hello? So I can mail order more supplies through the wormhole. Tangent frowns. I just don't understand, she says. Oh, I know. Why does it keep getting worse? Who knows? Engineering. Engineering is crammed with families and what belongings they've salvaged from the destroyed living quarters. You can spend time in your crowded temporary lodging in the classroom, or help the adults try to fix things. Well, my stress is surprisingly, non-existent, so we're probably gonna rebuild. 3 toughness, 3 organizing, 5 kudos, and stress. Mars makes a good point. But what are these kudos for if I can't use them for anything? The first month of quiet passes, each day plodding one after the other. You still have trouble sleeping in the classroom barracks, but there's nowhere else to go. Every day you wake with the others and try to make the best of it. Grief and anger come in waves, not just for you, but for everyone. Some days are better than others. You're assigned to help rebuild the walls. The first part of the month is spent just dragging away the wreckage, sorting it into salvage or recycling. By the time that's done, crews disassembling parts of the stratospheric have delivered enough salvage that you can begin work patching up the walls. A sense of urgency permeates the crew. After everything, people need to feel safe. This image right here, we saw in our dreams. The colony destroyed. This is on the work crew with you, something he does begrudgingly. Wallace didn't help the first time, he grumbles whenever anyone asks for his opinion. We should just tear them all down and live like the animals do. If someone plants a bunch of buildings on my land, I'd be pretty angry too. Work hard anyways. By the end of the month, you've made noticeable progress. There are other priorities and not a lot of construction materials, but when last year's mushwood harvest is done drying out, we'll be able to do more. Even if Dis is right that it didn't help the first time, it's better than nothing. Tangent and Chief Engineer Instance have been hard at work in the lab trying to find a cure for the shimmer disease. You join them in their research. You're the one who found a sample of the shimmer fungus and analyzed it. You're the one whose father suffers the most from it. You confirm that the shimmer is an airborne fungal disease. and that the thick, choking spores and pollen are the same fungi from the Valley of Vertigo, the ones that colonize the hosts and turn their bodies into more spore-producing fungus. Finally, you have a long-due breakthrough. Sunlight! Ah, yes. I'll get nothing because I'm mourning. You try inoculations, antibiotics, antifungal creams, but what finally works is a high-intensity light treatment mimicking the full force of the sun's during dust, coupled with an injection to increase its potency. Of course, Tange exclaims, the fungus colonizes animal life during pollen, and some succumb to it, but the intense light of dust scourges the fungus from the survivors. It's all part of the natural cycle. The treatment works on samples. Now, to test it on a subject. Probably an animal. And we really shouldn't do animal studying. But I don't really want to risk putting on my dad and him dying, and I don't suffer from it, really. So. A little hop-eye blinks up at you with 4 giant, trusting eyes. Can you really subject it to experimental therapy? You lock the hop-eye in a sealed cage and pump the fungal spores in. Within a few hours, its skin oozes with shimmering dust. It begins to throw itself repeatedly against the plexiglass cage, the fungus in its brain forcing it to get outside and spread its colonizing spores. You move the poor creature to the light therapy machine and fire it up. I love that it's like, it has me ask myself, would you really do this? And it doesn't even give me an option to back out. Like, yeah, I guess I can. It emerges a few hours later, blinking wearily and looking much healthier. Dr. Instance takes its vitals and runs samples of its fluids through various machines. She's excruciatingly thorough, but after a few days, she concludes that the treatment is a success. The hop-eye still carries a high fungal load, but its effects have been nullified by the light therapy. His little tomato helped Tangent cure the shimmer disease. Remarkable, Instance says, going over your findings. Now that we have frontline therapy, we can begin treating the population to prevent the fungus from taking hold. The shimmer cure. Alright. And fringe it with Tangent. She looks over at Tange. Solana's discovery will be of great help with our other research. You expect Tangent might be cross that you got the credit, but she nods, looking pleased. You're just thankful that no one was killed, not your father or anyone else. The colony is safe from the shimmer. And now I'm only finally getting to work. We really locking 4 over there? Seriously? 4 at the beginning. It's upsetting, but we'll do what we have to do. Okay, well that may be a win. But this way I can at least get the streak. Super goal of 33. And I got 38. More toughness. Organization, kudos, stress. The sun's finally dawn again on your birthday. You wake early and climb to the top of engineering to watch the first sun's watery rays break the horizon as the wormhole recedes across the sky. Dawn should represent hope after a long period of darkness, but this light only reveals the full extent of the damage to the colony. You've been having trouble sleeping, like most people. It's hard to find rest, crammed into the classroom with all the other kids and their families, and every time you close your eyes, you shake your head to clear the memories. You pull your blanket more tightly around your shoulders. Not your blanket, that one's gone. And stare out as the sun rises on the horizon, meager and sickly. Hey kiddo, you hear when your dad comes and sits down beside you. I was looking for you. Nice view, huh? At least we got a rooftop patio out of the deal. He laughs a little at his own joke and just sort of trails off with a sigh afterwards. He puts his arm around your shoulders and you sit in silence for a while, watching the sunrise pick out all of the broken glass littering the fields, shimmering like a field of stars. Neither of you really know what to say. It's clear your dad feels like he has to give you a pep talk, but there's an oppressive nature to the silence that makes it feel impossible for either of you to start. Eventually, he just sighs and his shoulders slump. I know things seem pretty bad right now, he says, squinting into the sunrise. It sounds like it's taking all his effort not to cry. But it'll get better. It has to, right? You're not so sure. At least your mom wasn't here to see this, he mutters. That's the silver lining, I guess. You watch the sunrise together for a few more minutes. After a bit, your dad musters up a brave smile and pulls out a little box tied with a piece of gardening twine. Happy birthday, my little rutabaga, he says. You know what it is before you open it. Your old medallion, the one your dad made with the sun on it to represent Earth, was broken during the attack. In all the chaos, you didn't even notice, but your dad did, and made you a new one. It's just like you remembered a similar design with a wormhole this time to represent Vertumna. Sun medallion 2. +5 to challenges, and I didn't mean to double click. You thank him, then squint out at the swirling wormhole, still barely visible in the brightening sky. It's so massive and awe-inspiring this time of year, but it always seems to herald disaster. You're happy to watch it fade away into the daylight. Your dad slaps you on the back. What a birthday, huh? We're hoping they all get better from here. Here's hoping they all get better from here. You both head back downstairs to the wreckage of the canteen, where they've put up temporary roofing with whatever tarps and scraps can be found. Quality nano printers, the few that still run, have been working day and night to replace the necessities of life, but larger construction projects are going to take some time. Aunt Anne has coaxed the kitchen nano printers into making soy gruel and pressed bars, life-sustaining but depressing. You and the other colonists eat your breakfast in stony silence as you mentally prepare for the day. Chief Administrator Seek has taken over as interim governor until the council can elect someone new. Last week, they held a mass funeral for everyone who died. There's talk of turning the Stratospheric's destroyed front half into a memorial shrine after everything useful has been salvaged. There's still so much to do. On to mid-quiet, with a lot of chit-chatting. Well, I mean, there's really only one thing I can do besides talking to people a bunch. I don't even know if there's new things to say to people. Tangent paces outside the engineering wing, the only building still standing. Everyone living in here. There's barely enough room to think. Let's go talk to my boy This. Since I talked to his sister. Yeah, just saying, what do you want? Cal. This said the same thing. And I bet Mars will say the same thing too. Not really. They're complaining, which is fair. We're just gonna keep rebuilding. You're assigned to help out in geoponics. The agriculturists have been hard at work trying to salvage what they can of the ruined fields and the destroyed greenhouses, but there's still a lot of work to be done. Your dad has taken over as chief cultivator. Succeeding your mom was already difficult for him, and now there's this. He's never been the kind of guy to hide from hard work. He's been pretty distant lately. Cal's working in geoponics too, of course. He smiles when he sees you. Hey, Selena, there's lots of stuff to do. What do you want to work on? Let's rebuild the animal pens. The pens only suffered minor damage during the attack. Weirdly, most of the damage seems to have come from inside the pens, as if the normally tame animals have been stirred into a frenzy. Well, it's kind of what happens when, the place gets attacked. Animals tend to, be afraid and go into a frenzy. Right. Tangent is also here. Though it's not to help hammer and nail things. She's studying the animals, trying to figure out what could have influenced them. She takes blood and hair samples and readings with some sort of complicated brain scanning device. Interesting, is all she says, not explaining her findings to you or Cal. Everyone is worried that this will be the final nail in the coffin for your food supply after the famine last year. You try not to think about it too hard, instead focusing on just doing what you can to help rebuild. I still can't believe I didn't fix that. I foraged, so much. I literally couldn't forage anymore. But thinking back on it, I probably could have analyzed some of that stuff I found. I mean, there's no geoponics to do it now, obviously, but my dad did say that I could analyze stuff. Analyze or research or whatever it was. So, well, if it's gonna become a 3 anyways. Let's see, that's 35, which is the super goal, but out of sheer curiosity. Whatever, it doesn't really matter, I guess. That's just because it's 8. You're eating in the mess tents when you hear something rumbling. Actually, before we continue, I need to check. Make sure peace is working. I mean, I seem, according to the stream thing, I was super quiet. But I'd like to make sure this is minimized to the tray. Here we go. Your bowl and cutlery start rattling. People look around in alarm. Could it be another attack? So soon? You begin to hear shouting from outside. Someone runs into the tent. There's something falling from the sky, they shout. It's on fire! You join the crowd of people leaving your temporary structures to gather in the colony square. People are squinting up into the milky, quiet sunlight, pointing and gesturing wildly. It's impossible to miss the thing hurtling towards you from space. It's like a great big ball of fire coming straight for you. Is this it? Is this the end? After all you've been through, a meteor is going to land in the middle of your already ruined colony and kill you all? That would be poetic. The heliopause. Heliopause lands in age 15. Mars grabs your shoulder. It's another ship, she exclaims. Look, it's another spaceship from Earth. I can never figure out what voice I wanted to do for Mars. We'll move on from that. Excitement ripples through the crowd. Could it be? You stare up, unbelieving at the rapidity. You stare up, unbelieving at the rapidly approaching ship. I swear I can read, okay? The flames of its entry into the atmosphere dissipate, but a thick column of greasy black smoke trails behind it. Soon you can hear the whistle of it rippling through the atmosphere at terminal velocity. That is not a controlled descent. It's an enormous ship, coming at you way too fast. The ship's reverse thrusters fire, trying to slow it down so it doesn't smash into a billion pieces when it hits the planet. Everyone scatters to take cover. You crouch behind some rocks, throw your arms over your head, and squeeze your eyes shut. You hear the massive spaceship touch down in geoponics, plowing through the fields and grinding over what was left of the greenhouses. You're thrown to the ground from the force of the impact, shrapnel and small rocks whizzing past your head. It grinds along like some roaring monster, cutting a great scar through the colony, kicking up an enormous cloud of dust. It's not like I was trying to, rebuild geoponics or anything, Finally, the ship comes to a creaking, shuddering halt. You and the other colonists carefully crawl out of your hiding places, coughing and rubbing your eyes. The new ship is half buried and obscured by dust, but you can tell it's from Earth. You squint to make out stenciled letters. Heliopause. A hatch opens on its side and silhouettes begin to emerge. Silhouettes with guns. Soldiers march out of the dust and quickly surround all of the remaining colonists. More soldiers form 2 parallel lines from the ship to the square, their guns in parade rest, and a long figure strides down the center towards you. Honestly, I'm just surprised they lived with a landing like that. Greetings, fugitives of Earth, the man says, spreading his hands wide. We're not fugitives, man. A dismayed murmur ripples through the crowd. The adults exchange significant looks. Chief Engineer Instance tries to slip out of the crowd, but she's stopped by the line of soldiers. The man smiles. He has a broad, easy-going smile that doesn't match the threatening aura of the soldiers nor the smoking ruin of the ship behind him. "I am Commander Lum," he says proudly. "As captain of the Heliopause, I have come to render aid and bring you to justice." But how did you know we even needed aid? We're gonna try to sneak away, just to be funny. The Heliopause soldiers have the colonists surrounded and shove you gently but forcefully back into the crowd. Well, listen. Squee steps forward out of the crowd. "You're not the commander of the Heliopause," they say firmly. "Governor Etiquette was expecting Commander Morwaka." Everyone is surprised. Etiquette had been in communication with this ship. For how long? "I am the captain of the Heliopause," Lum repeats stubbornly, then adds, "According to the chain of command, we sustained significant loss of personnel when we went through the wormhole." You can't help but notice many of the soldiers exchange looks this time. You wonder how many people had to die before Lum became commander. "As the commanding officer," Lum continues, "I declare this colony to be under our protection. As such, you are all now subject to the laws of Earth." Bro, this isn't Earth. And Earth is a really long ways away, and no one can really enforce such laws beyond you with weaponry. And are we sure that this is Earth? I mean, if Earth is like this, like if this guy's really far, I wouldn't want to be on Earth either. I would have wanted to dip like these colonists. Like, I already don't really want to be where I am now, because it kind of sucks. And this is kind of giving those same vibes. So, no. Squee bows. And now, they stammer, "There's no need for dramatics. We're a diminished colony, as you see. Governor Etiquette died in the most recent attack, and Fluorescent passed away a few months ago. Even technician Halitosis is gone. You see, we're quite leaderless." "Wait, your mom? What would these Earth cops have wanted from your mom?" You notice Chief Engineer Instance is being held with her arms behind her back. She glowers at Lum with unbridled hatred. Now, there's something personal going on here. Lum turns to the assembled colonists. "Well, why don't we fix that?" he declares. "Say hello to your new governor." You hear a few gasps of shock and outrage, and Lum raises his hand, placatingly. "Let's not pretend you don't need our help," he says. "We could simply arrest you instead, but there's no need to demoralize your little colony further. Judging from the number of guns on display, you don't think you have a choice in this. I certainly do not. No one knows how to react. A new governor from Earth, nearly 100 new colonists, most of them trained soldiers. What does this mean for the colony?" The crowd disperses slowly, and the council members follow Lum back into the Heliopause, presumably to talk about the future of the colony. You hope. You track down your friends. "So, what do you think about these new people?" Mars asks. "They're just gonna boss us around." Tangent nods. "They don't live here. They don't know what it's like. And they're just gonna swoop in and act like they're better than us?" She hugs her arms around herself. "Did you see what they were doing to Instance?" The entire colony, now twice as many of you, sets to work on salvaging the wreckage of the Heliopause, tearing it down and combining it with the Stratospheric's remaining engine section. Spirits are high, though these new colonists from the Heliopause aren't like any people you've ever met before. With their uniforms and weapons, they're more like an invading force than a rescue. You aren't sure what this means for the colony, or for your future. They are more of an invading force than a rescue. I'm calling it now. As the dust settles, you rebuild your colony around this new ship, the Heliopause. The new arrivals, soldiers mainly, are aloof at first. Many see you as fugitives. Together, you build new walls, living quarters, greenhouses, and a massive bunkered garrison. Definitely need a big garrison to take out many soldiers. The Stratos engineering wing is the only reminder of your old colony. The Heliopause brought enough rations for another 5 years, as well as a rich seed bank and working hydroponics. Finally, an end to the slow starvation you felt for years. They also have more guns and explosives than you've ever seen in your life. Even the ship has guns. The full stomach, a roof over your heads, and the promise of safety convinces most shadow colonists to accept the Helios. In turn, the Helios decided that you criminals pose little threat. A grudging peace is brokered between the two groups. You decide they aren't so different, really. They're even Helio children born among the stars, just like you. This is where I meet the other like friends or whatever that I can have. Because I've seen like pictures of this game, and there's people I don't recognize next to the friends I do recognize. After a month of hard work, you and your dad move into your new quarters, and you have your own bedroom for the first time in your life. You place a picture of your mother on the shelves beside your bed. You step out onto your very own balcony and watch the new colony, its grounds bustling with so many strangers and strange new ideas. You feel something rising in your chest that you haven't felt in some time. Hope. Excitement. What will the new day bring? You better go out there and find out. This is back to the beginning. My options. Rush outside to greet the day or cautiously step out. I rested completely. Colony defense. I really don't know where I can check those things. Command? Maybe? I mean, there is a command now. I have no idea. Status ended starving. We're gonna cautiously step outside. We're not eager about this. I don't feel comfortable. I do not feel safe. Okay? I know that we are safe, but I do not feel safe. But now there's a whole new grounds to explore. Well, give me that stick. Okay, sorry. Alright, cow. And back to the very beginning of Hopeless. Giving gifts, eating things, talking to people. Cal is catching a nap sprawled across a pallet of bags of fertilizer. Someone's covered him up with a scratchy burlap blanket. You're about to leave him alone, but he blinks awake and yawns at you. Just reading it made me yawn, so sorry. Hey, Salona, he says, rubbing his eyes. Sorry, I'm just catching some shut-eye. It's all hands on deck, getting geoponics up and running again. Do you need me for something? Nope. Just chit-chatting. This is the new living quarters. That's pretty. The new common area is a hastily constructed platform clinging to the side of the heliopause. Crews are hard at work incorporating the rigid hull into the natural landscape, creating a charming, open-air place for gathering, eating, and relaxing. I don't feel like open air is the best idea with wet season. Just a thought. Just outside, you can hear construction happening on new living quarters for everyone from both the ships. Is there anything else over here? Okay. Let's see. Let's keep following this. That's definitely a new person, but hold on. Also a new person. Hold on. Is this... This is command. Do the notice sport. Cool. I could have checked here to see how my food supplies was doing. To see how close I was to, fixing starvation. I checked this at the very beginning of the year and I didn't really notice that before. Security rating 50% orange. Yep, I don't care. I literally just am trying to get a feel for the place. This one the last 5 years in game figuring out the place now. And here, this is obviously geoponics. From here, I want to see the options here. Geoponics is a buzz activity. Repairs to the domes are underway and fields are being replanted, and hydroponics on the heliopause are being installed. Could have researched. See, I wonder if this would have helped me with the starvation thing. I didn't ignore that. I'm not gonna talk to Dad. I didn't mean to click behind you. Dad, I wish to speak to you. Even though it hurts, you find yourself wandering over to geoponics. It feels not good to be here, in the place your mom loved and ultimately gave her life to, but not good either. It feels like you have a bruise. You can't stop yourself from pushing on it because the pain reminds you the injury is real. Like your mom dying is this huge invisible wound, and poking at it forces you to feel something instead of just being numb. Your dad is taking time off work. Your parents worked double and triple shifts during the last growing season, and now that it's over, it just feels so cruel. When people work hard, they should be able to look back on what they did and feel proud Instead, there's just this huge gap where your mom should be. You find your dad sitting in your mom's personal garden. It's miraculously starting to grow again, despite being trampled flat during the last attack and neglected during the famine before that. Still, various retumnant flowers are starting to sprout, as well hardier earth ones like dandelions. Dandelions are seeds. Seeds. Wow. Dandelions are weeds. They're not flowers. They're weeds. They just look like flowers. And we planted them here. What is wrong with us? Like, yes, they're pretty, but they're weeds. Your dad looks up and musters a smile. He pats the bench beside you. I'll say quietly. Your dad is good at sitting in silence. He holds your hand and you sit together, watching the bugs flit around the garden. Flit around in the garden. Eventually, he starts to hum quietly. You recognize the song, an old favorite of theirs, one they used to play after dinner when they would sit and talk for hours about the future they envisioned on Britumna. You remember staring at their feet and playing with your blocks, letting their weird adult words wash over you. They had so many plans. You think about your mom and how much she sacrificed for the future she'll never see. Your dad puts an arm around your shoulders, and you sit like that for a long, long while. He still wishes to talk. Hello, my little tomato. Your dad's voice rings out across the fields, hale and hearty. My bad. Hello, my little tomato. You don't have it in yourself to be embarrassed. Not during pollen. Not with the memory of him struggling to breathe so fresh in your mind. Are you coming to check on your old man? He teases you. He takes a deep breath, holds it, lets it all out comfortably. I'm doing great. No congestion, no sneezing, and I definitely don't want to take a hike outside the house. Remember from last time when he wanted to. You know, I didn't even think about that. When I was just talking about the whole thing, it's wanting him to get out and spread it. That was why he was so eager to take a walk outside the walls while he was sick. Your dad pulls you into a big hug, ruffling your hair. He smells like sunshine and dirt and sweat, and you've never been happier to breathe it all in. He's alive. I'm proud of you, he says quietly. Sorry. I'm proud of you. You can pull off miracles, kiddo. Thanks, Dad. There's honestly some new kids that I should probably talk to, and I really shouldn't be trampling your field, but give me this egg. Thank you. Mars, you're probably the last person I really want to talk to. The one I do want to talk to you, but hold on. This is the new exit. Nice, nice, nice. I feel like we just moved locations, like, absolutely entirely. I guess we did. Geoponics on this side, he said rebuilding, so we're on the right side where our colony was. Maybe we deserved it. Dis mutters. The new ship didn't save us. Just delayed the inevitable. When their food and weapons are now, we'll be back to where we started. They didn't learn anything? Didn't they learn anything? No, Dis. When do people learn? When in human history have we ever learned? Ever. Just in general. Ever learned from our mistakes? Never. History repeats itself. It is a perpetual dooming, repeating cycle. It never ends. We learn history, we still repeat it. Because stupidity is just as common as oxygen, if not more. Tang almost didn't notice you approach. She is staring into the distance, almost as if she's gone into sleep mode with her eyes open. She blinks out of her daze when she hears your footsteps. Oh, Solana, she says. It's only you. What do you need? I was just checking on you. So there's engineering. Really wish I had a map. Engineering, living quarters, command, geoponics, expeditions, and then training. Let's talk to my bestie. Nem doesn't notice you approach. She's focused intently on the document on her holopalm, chewing on her nail as she reads through the small print. She jumps when she sees you, looking momentarily guilty. Oh, hey, Solana, I was just looking over some stuff. Helios have got all these documents you have to sign if you wanna She trails off, biting her lips. I'm gonna sign up to join up with the Helios, she says hesitantly. There's a part where if you're under 18, you have to have a parent's permission just to sign up as a reservist, and Nem looks down at the ground and scuffs her shoe in the dirt. Mom's gonna be so mad, she mumbles. So mad. Like, she's probably gonna cry, and it'll be this whole stupid thing, and she takes a deep breath. But I gotta do it. I just gotta do something. I love that I started mumbling this before I even read She Mumbles. I just knew. She'll understand, you explain. Yeah, I hope so, Nem says. I'm gonna tell her that she doesn't let me sign up. I'm just gonna run into battle the next time the aliens come in. Well, it'd be better if I knew what I was doing. I'm not gonna get caught off guard again, Nenemi says, setting her jaw. When they come back, I'm gonna be able to fight everything I got. No one else has to die, like home. Nem gestures angrily to dismiss the holoscreen and puts her face in her hands. She crouches down small, pressing her head against her knees, and takes in an anguished breath. God dang aliens, she says. Bunch of dumb dinosaur-looking jerks. I feel like I really should clarify this happened in the last one. And in this one, I don't have an issue with curse words. I want to say that. I don't. I just personally don't really say them. And I'm sure one day that will probably change, but it's just a preference. I've got no issues with other people saying them. I mean, no issues at all. And I understand it's probably taking away from the experience for some, for me to not be saying them, but this is my personal choice. So I will be doing what I have been doing and replace the words with words I'm willing to say. Just personal preference. You're doing the right thing. She stands up and rubs her eyes. Yeah, I am, she says. I'm not gonna let them take away anybody else. I'm sure that discouraging her from that path is a potential outcome, but I imagine all it will really do is cost me friendship with her, because I understand that this is how she wants to grieve, and who am I to stop her? I may be her best friend, but she's gonna do this regardless of what her mom says, and she's gonna do this regardless of what I say. So it's better to just encourage and make sure she's doing it right and that she's confident about it, because especially something like this, because she's wanting to join the military, essentially. She needs to have confidence. She needs someone in her corner, and I would rather support her than, tell her not to go fight, because like she said, she's just going to run into combat anyways, and she might as well know what she's doing. Alright, let's talk to the first new person. I do know Mars is back there, but I will go talk to Mars when I talk to the other new person. The new boy from the heliosphere is a couple of years older than you. He is very handsome. Do I really care? And maybe to some, I don't know, the trifecta of weird hair colors going on here. I think it'd be better if he just had the blonde in the front. Or the white. This beard makes it both. Personal preference, of course. They're literal children, so it doesn't really matter. But I think the hair is weird. He's very handsome, and the missing arm gives him a heroic, battle-scarred vibe. He stands tall and ready for action, even though it's a normal, boring day. The other recruits milling about the garrison give him a wide, respectful berth. He sees you staring and gives you a curt nod. Oh, what voice to give a 15-year-old boy who's going through probably... Well, actually, no, a couple of years older. She's 17, so he's probably through puberty, has a lower voice. I don't want all the guys to sound the same, that's my issue. You see him staring, and he gives you a curt nod. My name is Vase. Lieutenant... Olivacious? He chose the middle part of his name. Whatever. Lieutenant Olivacious, he says, considering you with a glint of challenge in his eyes. And you are... Learn. Face. Name. How do you introduce yourself? I'm just a kid. I'm just a baby. I practically run this place. I'm a soldier like you. I'm into science. I'm an explorer. I'm a hard worker. I just want to see some fun before I die. I'm an explorer. mostly. Like, I've got bravery. But I mean, all of this definitely contributes to soldier as well, but I'm an explorer. His expression doesn't change. Is that right? He says, with an air of a boy who's hard to impress. Nice to meet you, Solana. I heard it's been a rough couple of years for the colony. Lucky thing our heliopause came along just in time, he continues. Don't worry, we have some of the best soldiers. The very best. We'll keep the colony safe. I don't know the emphasis on very. Are you one of those best soldiers? We turn as a team, but Vance says, then clears his throat. Yes, I've won more than my share of zero-G judo matches and virtual riflery tournaments, even competing against adults, he ends. Being planets actually different, I bet I could take you, or wow, you're pretty cool, but just the flirt. Okay, I am not flirting with this boy I just met. Okay, thank you, Game, for giving me the option. And who knows, maybe I will in a future run, because, there's 29 endings, and completionist me is probably gonna try to get them. Maybe not all in, like, on stream or anything. I'll probably do, like, maybe a couple runs on stream, do different things. I'll probably do 3, because I've got this, like, physical run going. And I'll probably do a mental and a, like, social. And then we'll do different things. Maybe I can, I don't know, save my mom in one of those. And flirt with somebody else. But right now, I am flirting with my bestie. Alright, my best girl, them. So, no. Being planetside is totally different. You tell Vance that firing a virtual gun is nothing compared to running for your life through the jungle while a wild Unisaur hunts you down. A Unisaur? Vance says, leaning forward a little, his eyebrows raised. Did you actually say something interesting? That sounds like a fun sport. I'd like to try it sometime. It's a creature. Not a sport, but that's fine. So I wasn't expecting that to be one of the new people. So I guess there's 3 new people. I remember seeing 2. You know what? I didn't really count, actually. And considering the picture I saw was them older, I think I just assumed. I don't know. I didn't count. That's what I get. I tried not to look at, like, spoilers or stuff. That'd be why I didn't count. I'm gonna shush. You've seen Nami Nami. Her name is Nami Nami. Nom nom. You've seen Nami Nami around since the heliopause landed. They're around your age and barely 1.5 meters tall, only coming up to your shoulder. Thank you for telling me how much shorter they are than me, because 1.5 meters tall means nothing to me, considering I am in the Americas, and we don't do metric here. We like to be weird and annoying and have bananas for scale instead of just using metric. You've never seen anyone dressed as strangely as they do. High-pitched and quick. Okay, I'm gonna have to drink some water before I do this. I was not prepared for this. Hi! Their voice, high-pitched and quick. I'm Nami Nami. It's short for nomination. They do a little twirl and bow. You introduce yourself and... Let me ask you what their gender's a nice thing to do, but it's probably not the first thing I'm gonna do. We can ask about the clothes, though. As the outfit doesn't seem rude. Oh, this old thing, I designed it myself. A Nami Nami original based on the outfit Lavandula Starlifter wears in the 3rd season of Turbo Girl Hyperjet Transform when she has to work undercover as the lead singer of an idol group. The fact that I read all that without messing up a single word impresses me the most. And I'm gonna mess up this next one now that I've said that. They stick their leg out. Only I changed the bottom part, and of course I have to wear my gaming gauntlets. I call them gaming gauntlets, but they're really Envirosuit gloves that I modded so I can play holo games through them. Do you like games? My faves are Laser Fable and Dig Dig Digger Dog. Laser Fable is so much more fun now that we can play outside with room to run around. What kind of holo games do Strato kids like to play? Nami stops to catch their breath, winded after their extended outburst. Thank you for follow Fortune Clowns _ If you only just joined, then you definitely joined at a really weird time. She talks in a high-pitched voice and quickly, so that is why I was reading that so, absurdly quickly. And it's funny that she had to stop to catch her breath, but I didn't. That means I didn't talk fast enough, probably. Politely extricate yourself. Hi. How are you? And yeah, I'm still put new because I'm technically returning. I haven't streamed in many years, but pretty much still new. I'm a little tired, but enjoying playing some games after a long day of work. I returned to this one. Played it a couple times. I don't really have my link tree set up, but if you are interested to see the first couple runs I've done of this, I do have a VODs channel. It's same name as here, just with VODs attached to it. But this is very much a choice-based game. I was a teenage exocolonist. A lot has happened, so if you stick around and get confused about something, just ask and I'll explain a little bit of the previous lore, unless of course you've seen the game already. And if that's the case, then I can just shush and let you experience my chaotic first run of the game. I have no idea what Laser Fable is, so I'm not going to challenge her to it. I'll just get her to calm down. They take a deep breath. Yeah, sometimes I get carried away, they say with a grin. Rex says my superpower is boundless enthusiasm. Personally, I wish my superpower is being able to fly or go invisible. Or being able to eat as much as I want and make the food go into someone else's stomach, not mine. You have some really good food here on Vertumna, you know? I really like that. Oh, right. Nami pauses as you give them a look. Deep breaths. Oh, thank you. I don't really know when my obsession with it started, but I really like the combination of the white hair and purple eyes. And so when I made this little VTuber here, I gave her white hair and purple eyes. Other way around. Yeah, no, white hair and purple eyes. My brain is broken. Nami really messed me up. But sure, I guess I can get my butt kicked in Laser Fable. Here on, Nami helps you install it on your holopalm and explains the rules. Laser Fable is an augmented reality game where you bounce hologram lasers off real objects nearby. It's speed-based, so you're running around and bumping into each other, and there are extended house rules about when it's legal to block each other's lasers. Combat challenge. 3 rounds. Well, I know that makes it 3. This is my best combination. Actually, I don't know if I want to toss my 6s in there. You're definitely not going to be the highest, so let's not pretend. That's good enough. Maybe, I hope. Okay, toss all the 6s out there and then all the 5s. That does wonderful. We hit our super goal. +2 combat. We're getting there on another perk. And a kudos again. Actually, no, there is a command, so I could probably use it. I should check the kudos store. Right on, sister. Nami gives you a high 5, then with a couple quick flicks on their gauntlets, gives you a kudos for winning. They explain this is how they always played Laser Fable with the kids from Heliosphere. Except they mostly don't want to play anymore. They say that they're too old for it. They just want to be soldiers now. Except Rex, he's still cool. I won. I mean, I guess I do strong. Okay. True friendship with Nami. Oh man, that's more birthdays I'm gonna have to figure out. I'm gonna take an educated guess and say this is Rex. The colony's full of new people. Everywhere you look, you see a stranger. It's disorienting. After growing up in a closed spaceship, you never expected to meet any other humans that weren't made here on Vertumna. You bump straight into one of these new people while they're jogging through the city. He laughs and holds you steady, brushing the imaginary dust off of you and giving you a wide, fanged smile. Hey, it's one of the kids from the heliopause. You think his name is Rex? How befitting. When did you become a VTuber? Only very recently, actually, which is why the expressions are a bit janky. I tried to fix it, and then it didn't like it, so I was just like, I'm just gonna not deal with it and be surprised a lot. Like, if I look too far over and down, it tends to, like, to have me shout for no reason. Not always, but sometimes. All the other expressions are turned off so that I don't, like, furrow my brows and get angry or have this really weird, like, big smile with my eyes closed while I'm trying to talk. But I couldn't make the excited turn off, so I get to be randomly excited, I guess. Sure, we'll match energy of this obviously dog mutated one, or his enhancement is more canine nature. Hey, I'm Solana. Welcome to Vertumna. You stick out your hand and shake his, and he laughs. You notice he's wiggling his dog ears. They can really move independently. Oh god, another voice. I've been trying to give them all different voices, though. I haven't really nailed it down for some, and I'm not great at doing different guy voices, so bear with me if they all probably end up sounding extremely similar. Pleased to meet you, he says. I'm Rex, and I love to shake a paw. I know a ton of tricks. He winks. That makes me a little uncomfortable. Just a little. Oh, look, there's the flirting. I'm back. I'm not gonna flirt with Rex. I just met him. He puts his hand against his cheek, looking cute and lost. Hey, since I'm new here, do you think you could help me find the construction yard? I thought I might apply for a job there. The for you anything is funny, but I just met this dude. It's in command that away. Oh, I can take him. It's fine. You walk him over to command. Everything's moved around since the heliopause landed, but the construction yard is still in command where it always was. At the entrance, you meet Mars, filing her nails and looking like she's waiting for somebody. Why, hello, cutie, she says to Rex. Still in her voice. Where'd you come from? He looks her up and down and grins. Just an angel who fell from the sky, darling. You're trying not to gag as the two of them flirt. You give a loud and point Rex towards the construction yard. He looks back at Mars over his shoulder and winks as he leaves. Oh god, I have to... They're at the age where they're all gonna flirt. I should have known that when I got the option to flirt. This is gonna be rough. Y'all two have fun. Oh, I didn't even actually talk to Mars. I guess I should talk to her. Mars is poring over a real book with real paper. You crowd around to take a look at it. This belongs to the new kid, Nami Nami, Mars says, lifting her voice like a question. I told them I was looking for someone to draw designs for my new fashion line, and they just handed me this. The book is filled with character designs, giant robots, and pictures of characters kissing. It's so good. Where it says turning the pages. This is what we needed here. People with talent. Okay. Sounds good, Mars. Now I gotta figure out what I want to do. Now that there's so many options besides just reconstruction. You know what? Do I still have the same options out here, or can I go anywhere else now? Forge in the valley, survey the plains, or explore nearby. I want to go to these other places. Why can I only go to these two places? Let me go to Resting Ridges. Actually, it's probably best I don't. I might fall. Let's go down here. The garrison. The Helios have replaced the old garrison dojo with a huge underground bunker. It's much larger and better supplied, and abuzz with activity. Soldiers drilling, weapons being cleaned and inventoried, and animals herded into cages for study. You can't believe how many soldiers are down here. Must be the safest place on the planet. Love that I can still play sports ball from here. Sports ball would give me bravery. It would be nice to get bravery. But you know what? We're probably just gonna do more defense training, honestly, because I really don't need that perception. And I'd like to build my friendship with an enemy. This is gonna be friendship with Vance. Defense training, or base, not Vance. It really should just be an M. With base. I don't care about the friendship with base, but I do want to get more combat up. So, I care about the friendship with an enemy, though. My girl, Dim. Security Chief Rhett interrupts your afternoon training to address the group. Nim perks up. This seemed important. Since the original colony was destroyed, Rhett begins, we have needed every skilled security officer we can find to defend our home. And now, with Governor Lum's blessing, age is no longer a requirement. We're looking for young recruits to join the ranks of the defense squads. Is this really a blessing? This is a serious job. He punches his hand for emphasis. You'll be soldiers, not little kids learning self-defense or peering down from the safety of the walls. You will be in danger. You need to be brave and know your way around a weapon. Step forward if you think you have what it takes to defend our colony. Soldier was really not the route I was expecting to take, but my physical skills might mean this is probably the route I ought to take. I love that my rebellious option, though, is go pound sand, warmonger. Or I could just quietly hang back. I've got so much bravery. I am a brave individual, okay? We shall bravely step forward. When Rhett smiles, it's not a happy smile. So what kind of smile is it? Can you describe it in more detail, game? No? But do you have what it takes to survive? Define what it takes. That would be a good thing to define, but you know what? We're doing this anyways. Yes, I do, and I am ready to serve. Rhett nods. Okay, you're in. See you at dawn, recruit. Unlocked guard duty at the garrison. We like unlocking things to do. I like having options. Sort cards by suit. By value, actually, is all I really care about. I don't care about the rest. Thank you. I can't make a run at all. But we can match a bunch of 5s and get 1 over the circle. I still only got 2 stars, of course. Because it wasn't the best I could do. Mid-pollen. Well, I wonder if anybody's birthday is in mid-pollen. The only way I would know is if I looked it up, I guess. My combat! I reached the second perk in combat. Extra card draw. Draw an extra card at the start of challenge effect stacks. That's neat, I guess. It's not quite what I was expecting from combat, of all things, but it is what it is. I don't think people much. I think I would know this after playing half of the game. But people don't really want to talk to any of the next year or next season, not year. So we're just gonna keep doing defense stuff. We're gonna be a soldier, I guess, this run because I went physical. So. The Helios have replaced the old garrison dojo with a huge underground bunker. I already read this part. Also, physical's not really the route I expected myself to take for the first ever run. Because I normally wouldn't do like super hardcore strength stuff. I think I did it because I wanted to befriend Nem. I wanted to because I picked Nem to be my best friend at the beginning. So I wanted to increase my friendship with her, so I did everything I could to increase my friendship with her. And it caused me to go down a physical build. Even though I feel like I probably would have done mental first, had it not been persuaded by my earlier choice that I thought wouldn't really matter to me, but mattered greatly. Also, since when did I scooch into the middle? How long have I been blocking the screen? Well, we're gonna fix that. I'm not sure. I feel bad. But, I've just been covering the text. It's okay, I guess. Guard duty will net me +3 combat, +2 bravery, and 1 friendship with Ace. Okay, well, I care about my friendship with an enemy, not my friendship with Ace. And I've been doing this literally the entire time to increase my friendship with an enemy. So, we will continue doing defense training instead of guard duty. Because it's going to continue to increase my combat and animals, which are not maxed out, which is fine, but it mostly increases my friendship with an enemy. Actually, hold on. Hold on. This increases toughness. What is my friendship with an enemy? Actually, we're going to hold even harder. 2 stars away. Oh, so, yeah. Half a star with both of them. No stars with Rex? I got no stars with Rex. But I managed to get a star with these 2. Alright, Rex, I guess go ahead and hate me because I didn't flirt with you. That's fine. I miss Tammy still. Okay. We can increase our friendship with Cal a bit, I guess, because I want to go get more toughness so I can get to 80 to do the next thing with an enemy. I'm going to build friendship with one person just so you can go build friendship with another. Actually, I don't know if it matters anymore to research all the stuff I found. Probably not. Who knows? Maybe later. Want to get my toughness up. One thing at a time. Is there anything better than taking a huge amount of stuff and moving it someplace else? Well, probably you think, but there's still something satisfying about it. We're just shoveling dirt. Back to the good old shoveling dirt. Oh, that my default is 5. Okay, well I don't have a means of making something too... Oh wait, no, there we go. I've got a wild. Right there. Gorgeous. Okay, now if I put all my 3s, that makes it 34. But if I do the 6s, that's 36 and gets me the super goal of 35. More stress, that's fine. I just want my toughness to go up. Late pollen. We'll just do this again. Shovel more dirt. It's not always shoveling. Sometimes you get to control the huge robotic vehicle that has been fitted with a plow. The robo-plow is massive and intimidating, and can easily grind through rocks or even trees. But the colony only has one, so you have to be very careful when you give it instructions. You're tasked with taking a bunch of rocks out of a field and given the robo-plow to do it. Cal loads software up on his holopalm, and there is a lot going on there. All these digital gauges and a long list of possible subroutes with parameters enter. Solana, he says, nervously poking at the interface. Do you want to try doing this? We don't have a reasoning for it. Although I can just use muscles instead. Working those muscles or robo power. We'll do robo power. It's fine. I mean, I know that's just 1 over the 2, and I'm probably going to end up trying to forget this memory, but control the robo plow. Let's do it. Easy peasy. You give it the dimensions of the field you're plowing, the desired depth, and add a subroutine for rock removal indicating the general size of the rocks. I gained a reasoning doing that. Nice. So we like to see -5 stress. The machine whirs and adjusts its digging tools, then sets to work. You get the field cleared in record time, and you and Cal can enjoy a half day off. Nice. Robo power. Follow the wind. Oh, yes. Okay, but we don't want that one. Okay, well. Gets +2, and this is already going to be a +7. Let's just slap that on there. Just slap it right on. Okay, I definitely don't want it to go down. Let's see. Because I don't want that to become a 3. That being said, these do not end up meeting my super goal. These do meet my super goal. unfortunately. Let's go. Let's give it a go. Not my best. Whatever. Early dust. Somebody's got a birthday in early dust. I wish there was a spot where I could just see birthdays. Shouldn't be an enemy. An enemy's is early dust. It's like it shouldn't be, and it is. Proceeds to be. Let's get chit-chatting, and then I'll go give an enemy her gift. Which is an egg, because that's what she likes. You overhear your dad talking to one of the other cultivators. He seems to be upset about something to do with the new governor and people from the heliopause. When the other woman leaves, you have a chance to ask some of the burning questions you've had. Who are those new people? Your dad looks startled and tries to muster a friendly smile. You overheard us, kiddo? Listen, Solana. He hesitates and looks around nervously, as if afraid you're being watched. You're just gonna have to trust us adults on this. There are things you're still too young to understand. You're not too young. I thought the same of myself once, your dad says gravely. I was wrong. I had some rebellion. Rebellious 15-year-old over here. You can be surprised. The Helios came here, just like us, looking for a better life, it tells you. Some of them had other reasons too, but now they're here. Now that they're here, we're going to have to learn to work together. When your mother and I were young, on Earth, we learned a hard lesson. He gives a grim smile. We learned a lot of hard lessons. One was that it's safer to be led by one dangerous person than be attacked by an army of them. He lets that sink in. Another was that sometimes, when adults tell you not to worry, you should listen to them. Go on, enjoy your youth. He gestures toward the heliopause. Go get to know some of those new kids. I'm sure you'll find they're a lot like you. Before you can say another word, your dad is called back to work. There's still so much to be done to rebuild the farms and geoponic greenhouses, and you can see people from the Helio helping him. Maybe they aren't all that bad. I should have read all my questions if I knew I was going to only be able to ask one question. I should have assumed that. Cal waves at you as you enter the garden, leaning on his shovel. Hey, Solana, he calls, but his eyes look past you, down the path to where an enemy is beating the absolute tar out of a training dummy. Her fierce battle cries echo across the colony, making Cal wince. She's been going totally hard lately, huh? He says. He scratches his face, smearing dirt across his cheek. She asked me yesterday if I wanted to spar with her. She said it'd be good for self-defense. Cal smiles sadly at the memory. It's alright, I want to fight. Not her, not a training dummy, and not anything on this planet. For real. I've never seen her get so mad at me. She called me a baby and told me I'm just going to end up forcing everyone to protect me because I'm weak or helpless or whatever. He seems upset and stabs the ground a few times with his shovel. I just don't think it's right to fight anyone, especially the Xenos. They were here first, he says. What do you think, Solana? Violence is never the answer. Really. It genuinely never is the answer. And yet we're so prone to it. Always. Cal looks relieved. Glad you think so too, he says. Everyone's always telling me to see both sides of the argument. Like that they think just because I'm young and haven't made up my mind yet. He shrugs. I just think that if you hurt someone to get what you need, you don't deserve to have it. Correct. Correct, Cal. Correct. If you have to hurt someone to get it, you don't need it. Oh my god. You're mad. You don't deserve it. If you have to hurt someone to get what you need, you don't deserve to have it. Truer words have never been spoken, Cal. My goodness. Sometimes I think about the Xeno I had to kill the first time they attacked. Like, obviously I'm glad I'm alive, but but now it's dead. His eyes go back to an enemy. She stops sparring with the training dummy and is looking up at the gardens as she has a drink. Neither she nor Cal wave at each other. Yeah, that rift started a while ago. Well, a while ago, maybe not too crazy far, but some things you just cannot remain friends when you disagree on, especially when you are polar opposites on something so major like that. So, it was an accident. I didn't mean to kill it. My bad. Quietly. It was an accident. I didn't mean to kill it. Continues quietly. It just happened. I wish I could tell it I'm sorry. Cal clenches his fist. There's gotta be a way to figure out how to live in peace with all the cool things that live on this planet. He says, like, hey, look at this weed I saw growing over here. Cal has such strong convictions, and it's one of the things you like best about him. even if some people disagree with him. Cal's strength Q. Yep, strong convictions often clash with strong convictions. You spend a few hours with Cal in the garden as he shows off the area that he's getting ready for the next planting season. The adults are really starting to trust him with more planning as he gets older, and he beams with pride. When you finally head out, you're just as dirty as he is, but you feel so much lighter. How did I get so dirty, Cal? I thought you were just showing me stuff. Got me walking through the muck and the mud. If you will. Okay, he still doesn't really want to talk, which is fine. He doesn't have to talk. Anatomy's no longer over here. She's right there. Let me give you a... Actually, hold on. We're going to still talk to you a little bit, but I'm going to actually go see if I can buy a cake now that we're not starving. Nan looks around at all the new soldiers that arrive on the heliosphere. They look so cool, she mutters. Why didn't we act more like these guys in the first place? Because they're soldiers, Nem, and we're not. We're colonists, not soldiers. Tangent looks up from her hollow pond, blinking as her eyes refocus on the middle distance, and then on you. Her previously long hair is gone, buzzed close to her scalp. Why are we only just now addressing this? This happened last year. Maybe even the year before. Why are we only just now addressing this? You almost didn't recognize her when you first saw her. You wonder if it was caused by a lab accident or something. Are you saying that it only just now happened? But you've updated her model a couple years ago to look like this? Like, come on. Come on. Hey, Solana, she says, already cagey. Do you need something? No, I just came by to say hello. The faintest hint of relief passes across Tang's face. You get the impression that not pressing her on her personal appearance was a wise choice. Oh, well, all done, Tang replies. She raises her hand as if to push her hair out of her face, but stops when she realizes what she's doing. We're busy at the moment, actually, so if you don't mind, you can take a hint. Yeah, something definitely happened to her hair. Hey, Nami Nami. There's Nami Nami, and there's Rex over here, and then... I forgot bro's name. Clearly not... Vase. Clearly not important to me. Going back into command, we're gonna visit the display depot. Okay, I can buy a cake now. I would like to buy a cake. Yes, a single cake. 50 kudos. That's the first time I purchased a single thing. Wild. Anyways, I'm gonna go immediately give up said cake. Anatomy. Do you like cake? Is this something I can give you? Nem doesn't say anything as you approach. I got a cake for you. Nem gives you a little smile. Thanks for remembering my birthday, she says. It's not the same here without comb here. Sorry, Anemone. I know. I'm doing what I can. Even if it's not much. It's my toughness, huh? Ooh, only one away. Only one away. I'll probably just go play some sports ball, I think. But who knows what that's even like with these people here. You're not sure what to expect when you finally muster the courage to go back to the sports ball pitch after the big attack. Just passing by, it reminds you of losing calm. It all feels so senseless and uncaring. Security Chief Rhett is here to address you all before you get back to practice. You sit on the bleachers next to Nem to hear what he has to say. She looks angry. Okay, she's a little angry. Like she's gonna cry and rage. No one feels the loss of kombucha. Sorry, this is him. No one feels the loss of kombucha more than everyone on this sports ball pitch right now, Rhett says solemnly. You're all the ones who knew him best and the ones he loved the most. You hear Nem taking a shaking breath beside you. I'm gonna comfort her. Of course. You wrap your arm around Nem's shoulders, and she leans against you. She's trembling. Rhett clears his throat. Kombucha gave his life in the hope that the people of this colony could one day live in peace. You honor his memory by being here today to continue to play the game he loved. From now on, I'll coach sports ball in his place. Nem shoots to her feet. You're not calm, she yells. You'll never be as good as him. He's dead because of you. The rest of the kids mutter, some in agreement and others amazed at Nem's audacity. Brett only looks sad, holding his hands out for silence. Colm's death affected us all, he says. I feel your pain, because it's mine as well. Let's turn that energy to the field, okay? He wouldn't want us to stop playing sports ball because of him. No one feels up to forming teams and playing against each other, so you just work on skills today. Your heart's not in it, and neither is Nem's. During water breaks, she sits by herself and doesn't want to talk to anyone. I wasn't really sure what to expect trying to play sports ball after, but, it is what it is, really. So, let's just get these going. This is probably my better bet. No, if that's gonna be a 5, then let me do that. That's still only 25. That's the 7, and then let's do this one instead, because that'll at least match color to color. This isn't getting me. This is not getting me a super goal. Do I care that much about a super goal? Let's be silly. I want to see. That still doesn't give me a super. It's not worth it. It wasn't worth the stick. It's fine. I found the stick in the yard. Literally didn't even go outside for it. I forgot about this. The Vertumnilia Festival is a welcome day of normalcy in an otherwise chaotic year. Despite some lingering rivalry between the two factions, Vertumnilia is a chance for the Helios and the Stratos to come together and appreciate the bounty of the planet. At least, that's what the adults say. As Governor Lum takes the stage to address the colony, you can't help but notice the crowd has segregated itself according to the ship of origin. Rex shoots you a wave from over on the Stratos side, and Nomi makes a silly face. Base is surrounded by other young soldiers, all looking sharp in their Heliopause uniforms. With Nem standing beside you, you wonder if the two ships will ever feel like one colony. A fanfare plays over the square's announcement system. Lum's honor guard do a complex drill with their drone rifles. I'm gonna need some water before I continue to try to speak in a lower register for the man. I love how silly my model is when I do that, but greetings, people of Vertumnilia, Lum says, his voice ringing out over the square. We may be far from our beautiful Earth, but we can still celebrate and be thankful for what we have here. We've worked hard to save this beleaguered little colony from the brink of destruction, and should be proud of our work. The Helios cheer. Our side of the square is more quiet. Just called us a beleaguered little colony. Bro, we just had a major, and I mean a major, assault on our colony. And you are just insult to injury, I'm just saying. I know some of you have been asking, Lum, how are you going to do it all by yourself? How are you going to run the colony, solve everyone's problems, turn this planet into a paradise, and look this good? Lum strikes a pose to a smattering of polite applause. Literally not a soul on this planet cares about how good you look. Lum, you're just... No. Shut up. Shut up. What is going on with the collar? You know what? I'm gonna shut up. Well, I have the answer for you, he continues. The old council made a lot of bad choices, like illegally leaving Earth. But I believe in second chances, so I've appointed the original department heads to my own council. Lum's Council 2.0. Better not disappoint me. He laughs, makes finger guns at the department heads at the foot of his podium. Stay on your toes, Stratos. You're not making this any easier or better for literally anybody in this colony behaving like that. I also want to promise everyone here today that we're going to make Vertumnilia safe for humans. The Lum says. The next time those dang Xenos attack, we're going to blow them into so many little pieces there will be enough left to wipe off our boots. We've already got the defenses, he says, gesturing broadly to the new, taller, thicker walls. We're building homes for everyone, homes where people can raise children again, knowing that our military men and women are keeping us safe. Can't you just say our military? You don't really gotta add men and women, that feels unnecessary. Big cheers from both sides this time. Some of the colonists around you have tears in their eyes, especially those who lost family in the last attack. Lum goes on for a while, lionizing the Heliopause's military strength and casting subtle digs at your failed colony experiment. Finally, the crowd disperses to set up the square for the afternoon festivities, some traditional and some new. At the tables, Aunt Anne and the kids are setting out the spread for dinner. There's an unimaginable amount of food, thanks to the Heliopause's huge ration surplus and the piles upon piles of xeno-meat from the hunting parties, for those who can stomach it. Anne is all smiles, clearly making an effort to move on as Lum mandated, despite still mourning her lost son, Con. But even the festive atmosphere can force a smile onto Nem's face. We should be mourning, not celebrating. Nem nods. We should have skipped Vertimilia this year. Just quietly. You can't celebrate being alive when people died. I'm getting pretty rebellious now that Helios is here, okay? Like, I was not this rebellious before. And also, normally I would do things like this. I would do this, like Xena wrangling. But we're ditching. I'm ditching. I bet if I stayed, I would have competed against Nem and Cal like every year, but I'm ditching. You head off to the wall where you find Dis. Oh, it's you, he says. The slightly cooler breeze coming from the forest gently tousles his hair. What do you want? Oh, that gives me friendship with Dis for ditching. I came to find you. I'm not flirting with Dis either. I've picked Nem as my best friend, and then I chose to flirt with Nem, and I'm gonna be loyal to the flirting with Nem. Okay, I made that decision, and we're going. Just getting some time alone. Yeah, me too. Dis says, staring at you. So, I'm going to go over here now. Oh, sorry. By mutual silent agreement, you and Dis stake out places on the wall, a comfortable distance apart. It's peaceful. This place sucks now, Dis says after a few minutes of silence. I can't believe we got taken over by a bunch of stupid soldiers, and everyone's down there playing nice with them and pretending like they're gonna help us. He looks out towards the wilderness. What's out there's bigger than our guns. I know it. We definitely know that. Minus 50 stress. After the festivities, the mood in the colony is a lot lighter. You see people smiling easier, and often see mixed groups of Helios and Stratos socializing together. It feels like the first time people have actually let themselves relax. Good for them. Good for them. Okay. Let's see. 80 toughness. Nem! My girl Nem! Nem is kicking a sports ball around listlessly. After a while, she picks it up and just stares off into the distance at the colony walls. When they train together, hurting a friend, -4 to last card. Yes. Nem always insists that you never go easy on her, so this time, you don't. You go after her with everything you've got. By the time she finally taps out, you're both breathing hard. You let her up, and she touches her fingertips to her eyebrow, startling when it comes back red. Whoa, she says, you really kicked my butt. Good job. I've lost the voice for her in the days since I have slept. But I'm building my friendship with an enemy. And she's gonna get a scar out of that, and then it's gonna be covered by her scales, which is cool. I love her scales. We're getting there, 92. It's 92. Well, I really, really upped my toughness. Probably should raise my combat up. You know what? Base? You're probably all combat based. I can do some combat. It's already 40. It starts off as 40. That's crazy. I'm gonna get the little 20 like everybody else. No food, no weapons, no defenses, Face says, crossing his arms. I wonder you almost destroyed. I don't know what I expected, but I figured it would have been better than this. Don't worry, though, he continues. We're here now. We can protect you. Do I really care about this? Oh my god. Whatever. I challenge you. Faith suggests a classic Helio test of grit, punching each other in the stomach until one of you gives up or passes out. Bill's character, he says, tapping up his knuckles. Or taping up. I can read. Taping up his knuckles. His bicep glistens menacingly. His bicep glistens menacingly. One of those needs an S, and it's probably the first one. His biceps glisten menacingly. Did any Helio ever think of putting a piece of metal under their shirt, though? So, good old classic military shenanigans is what is happening here. Punching each other in the gut. Clang! Face's punch reverberates through the courtyard. He yowls and cradles his fist. He's surprised at first and angry at his pain. But when you pull the sheet of metal from your shirt, he bursts out laughing. I win by default, he snickers. I'm such a coward, Solana. Take it like a soldier. Still, you didn't get punched in the stomach, so that's a win in your books. I don't really care about building a friendship with you. I just wanted to see what your thing was. Your next one's probably beauty, right? Yeah. Which means I do not care what you have to say. I'm not a huge fan of Vase, okay? Don't get me wrong. It is purely first impression based, okay? Purely first impression. Not a fan. Not a fan. Okay. Seems a bit insulting. Saying that, because we don't have weapons or whatever, and the soldiers are here to save us and all that. All that shenanigan, I don't care. Alright. I don't care. I've never been one for, heavy military presence, really. I understand military is important, soldiers are important, but a heavy presence feels a bit overwhelming. Okay? She is creativity 40. I am not creative. The only social thing I have is bravery. Because I kept sneaking out. It's really kind of the same here. All I really got is biology. So, I guess me and Nomi are not going to be the bestest of friends. What do you need, Rex? Something I don't have. Engineering 40. So I'd be able to be good friends with you if I was friends with, if I was better friends with Tandra. Because she's also in engineering. Hugs incoming. Oh, that's so funny. Rex hasn't gotten used to life on the surface yet. Remember your first year, where Temna seemed so enormous, so full of dangers and mysteries. Well, it still does, but the shock eventually wore off. Rex still has that slightly bewildered look on his face every time he walks outside and the sunlight hits his face. So bright and warm. I'm gonna do this because I want to see what would happen. Would I realistically do this in this setting? No, because I don't know him and we have literally no friendship. But the fact that there's this secret third option here, I've got to do it. I gotta see. I'm curious. Really? Rex says, already opening his arms wide. I mean, yeah, sure, of course, obviously, but he embraces you, wrapping you up in a comfortable hug. Don't get mad at me when word gets back to Vase that you're hanging out with me, okay? Dude's got eyes everywhere. It's a good hug, the kind that makes you instantly just a little more relaxed. If being friends with Rex is gonna make Vase mad, gold. Because I don't know why, I really just don't like Vase's vibe. I mean, I love dogs. I love wolves, especially wolves are normally my favorite animal. So you'd think I like Rex. I think he's a little weird. Okay. Leaning really heavy into the dog. Even though he's still a dude, you know? But to each their own. It is his mutation. And it's totally alright that he's owning it. It just caught me off guard. That's all. That's all. Do I want to go on an exploration? Oh no, what I wanted to do was go to geoponics and see if researching stuff. what I can research and if it makes literally any difference. Not that I feel like it would now that people are absolutely starving. Geoponics is abuzz with activity. Repairs to the domes are underway, the fields are being replanted, and hydroponics from the heliopause are being installed. I wonder if it's at the last time. We're gonna research xenobiology. Your dad introduces you to the little lab they have set up in one of the greenhouses. It's incredible, he says, gesturing all around. We're surrounded by alien flora and we know practically nothing about it. What's edible? What's medicine? What can we make fibers with, or build with, or use in ways we haven't thought of yet? He beams at you. You and me, we're gonna find out, my little potato. Your dad directs you to a research bench, and here's where you'll be working. The bench is buried under samples and leakers and weird-looking alien sprouts. More than just a simple table, the analysis bench is covered with buttons and little holes you can put things into. Carefully find the on switch. There is no on switch. Yep, you looked everywhere. Don't touch anything then. Go ahead and mess around, your dad encourages you. Don't break anything. Stick something in a hole. You put one of the seedlings into a small slot in the table. A little door slides shut and then reopens. A loud brrr noise startles you. Oh no, you broke it! Your dad laughs. Nah, just kidding. You're fine. Good instincts, kiddo. Press buttons at random. You mash at all the table's buttons until... Yo, 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 kiddo! Oh, my bad. Yo, 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 kiddo! It's congruence. The friendly ship's computer beams at you from her own hollow screen set into the bench. Of course she's here. She's the guardian of all knowledge in the colony, after all. You wonder where she got yo, yo, yo from. Your dad laughs. Don't tell anyone, but congruence is the real brains of the operation, he confesses, though it's not like it's a secret. She'll make sure we don't do anything super dangerous. It means you and I get to focus on experimentation. If you follow the rules and stick to what you already know, you won't want anything new, so don't be afraid to try stuff. You bring your mushwood samples into the lab. You're going to study these and revolutionize the use of mushwood lumber. Maybe. I guess. Why not? We'll study the mushwood. That's what it chooses me to bring. You examine the mushwood under a microscope and take notes on its cellular structure. Part of the reason it needs to be harvested in wet is because the cells get so saturated that they lose structural integrity and turn to, well, mush during glow. Lost a collectible, mushwood log. Oh no. Woe is me. I lost one of my 10 million logs. Yeah, biology. Studying the exact process by which the cells take in water leads to a breakthrough. It might be possible to hack the process and stop the mushwood trees from taking on too much water during wet. If they don't take on as much water, they won't take as long to dry. You should be able to develop a spray that the loggers can apply to the fruiting body of the mushwood, the part that sticks out above ground, to close its pores. Reducing negative pressure in the body should stop it from pulling so much water from the mycelial. I know science words. Mycelial network underground. This is great. Logging will be much more efficient now. Plus one calling events, plus 5 kudos. I've got 17 yellow flowers, 3 of those, 3 of those, 3 of those, 6 of those, 4 of those. Okay, I can sacrifice some stuff to this. I just wanted to make sure. Card gets +2. Well, only 4. Ooh, if I do that. Well then that's gonna mess with my mojo, man. That won't mess with my mojo. That will mess with my mojo. It's 34. 38. If this doesn't hit a super goal, there we go. It's like if this isn't a super goal, I'm gonna be upsetty spaghetti. And of course that's not my full 3 stars, but whatever. Whatever. Late Dust. Does anybody have a birthday late Dust? That I know of. Let me clarify. Cow. I was like, I feel like somebody did. It's late Dust. Cow. I'm not even gonna read what you have to say. I should. I guess I should. Cal looks like he's being run ragged. Hey, Solana. He says he gets to pallet of building supplies scavenged from the heliopause. What's up? I don't have a lot of time. I gotta get these over to geoponics. Then we gotta get plants in the ground. I found something you might like. I wonder if he likes the yellow flowers. Cal accepts your gift with a genuine smile. Thanks for thinking of me on my birthday, Solana. Nice. I really should just, like, suit hyperfocus the military stuff. But I am actually genuinely curious to keep reading. I feel so bad that I didn't do this before. I feel like I should have. Look at this. Look at this. The sponge cake. I wonder if this would have made a difference. While people were starving, I just had this in my pocket. It's called sponge cake, so I really think it's food related. You've been studying the sponge cake you found out in the Valley of Vertigo, in that oddly squishy trampoline ground. As you suspected, it is a type of fungus. The analysis bench tells you that it contains edible starches. Once dried and processed with the maturing agent, acidic spark snow would work nicely. It will make a wonderful flower. This would have made a difference. This would have made a huge difference. I probably could have stopped us from starving. Which I wonder if that would have saved my mom. Well, I'll definitely have to remember that for the next run. I won't. Spoiler alert, I won't remember that. The challenge is now to cultivate it. It multiplies quickly, and you've seen how it stops anything else from going near it. Plant it in a backfield. You plant the sponge cake in a special field, quarantined on the other side of the geoponics domes from the rest of the crops. By the end of the month, you can already tell that it's taken root and will start producing viable food soon. You should get your first harvest during pollen when the sponge swells up and is at its sweetest. Okay, maybe not. Well, I wonder if I would have planted it at the beginning, before. Well, I don't know. If I would have planted in pollen, who knows? Many of the earth crops grow through dust and need to be harvested before wet. This means that the colony has more food available year-round. It's going to be an incredible boon. This would have... Oh my god, this would... I just should have done... After I couldn't forage anymore, I was like, well, I did my best, and went back to what I was doing, hoping that it would sort itself out. This. I needed to cultivate sponge cake. Oh my god. First collectible use is free. Thanks. It's just a 2. Just more 2s. A whole bunch of 2s. It's a 4. I don't. Okay. +1 to a card and change its suit. I don't really want to change its suit. So we draw a hand, draw a card, +2 to a card. I mean, I could just put the 3 there. Which is what I should do. There we go. I wonder. I get a free use. So, what if I do this? But I have to put it up there. Boom. Is that even better? That's 39. What if it mattered? 37? Yeah, 39 is even better. Does this make a difference? No, but it's... I better get my 3 stars. I got my 3 stars. I got 16 kudos. 16 kudos. Okay. Early wet. New perk for biology, I bet. Collectibles respawn faster and more slots are filled. Neat. I can't remember if they're late. They are late wet. It's Mars who's early wet, and I'm not really friends with Mars this playthrough, so I don't really care to give her. Those two seem to really like each other, so these guys are close. Don't steal my girl. This is my girl. You can't have her. You can't have my girl. What's our friendship? I'm giving her something. She's my girl. I don't think she likes flowers. But I don't even know that she likes. What have I given her? Because I'm gonna find more. Red Xeno eggs. That's literally all I gave her was red Xeno eggs. She probably doesn't care one bit about a flower. But we'll give it to her. Thanks. Doesn't dislike or like it. That's fair. Totally fair. Stubborn and loyal to our friends of the colony. What does it say about myself now? 15-year-old, you could spot a Dorbs moth from a click away. Got an knack for finding. Yeah, it's the same thing. No, it's the thing about animals. Biggie. I don't really know if there's much more to research in the xenobiology lab, but we'll go ahead and do it. It'll probably be a lot of my collectibles. But I want to see. Your dad shows you how to look at plant cells under a microscope and check for signs of disease, and how to identify different kinds of cells. You're kind of learning together. Here on Vertemna, the taxonomy he learned for classifying plants and animals is different. When comparing them to samples from Earth, Vertemna plant cells have a structure far more similar to animals than they do plants. Interesting. I mean, the pretty much animalistic kind of behavior that came from the fungi in the Valley of Vertigo. They made me want to be like, maybe I should back up because that's a very obvious trap. Kind of makes me not so surprised about that fact there. Also, that it was such a good card. I didn't even really think about that. Okay, midway. Okay, so it's not all collectibles, it's just specifically the log. A log and a sponge cake. And then other than that, it's just cool, I get biology. Yay! Let's go back to being tough people and building that relationship with them. What's more bravery and toughness? This is combat and animals. Which, I mean, I really need my animals to get up. I need my bravery to go up too before being honest, but let's do more defense training. Almost everyone from the Heliopods has completed all of their basic self-defense training already, but there are still some of the younger ones who just pop in to work out in the gym. Some of the soldiers help correct your form and encourage you to keep at it, but a lot of them look kind of annoyed that you colonists don't already know this stuff. Something like not everybody cares about the military. Just a thought. Set neighbors to this value. Boom. Look at my silliness. You can manipulate it, and that's wonderful. I got 40 and my super goal was 35. Nice. I just care about picking up that combat and the animals and that friendship with an enemy. That friendship with an enemy is the most important part about it. I'm only 6 away from maxing out my friendship with my girl, Nem. Alright, it's late wet time. Time to give gifts. Tange is over here. Tange, what have I given you that you liked? Okay, medicinal. I have no idea if you like anything else. So because it's your birthday, I'm gonna give you what I know you like. I could go get cakes. I could. But we're just gonna give you what I know you like. It's good to see the rest of the colony finally appreciate the work we do here. Chang says, Currently, agriculture and infrastructure were necessary for our initial survival. The attack last blow has made it clear that substance alone will not save us from the aliens. She clenches her fist. We need to be smarter than them. I have a medicinal for you. It seems you remembered my birthday, Chang says, taking the roots and turning them over in her hands. Oh yeah, it's literally the exact same dialogue. So maybe at the very beginning, I don't know. This, my boy, this. I gotta give you a medicinal root too, because apparently you and your sister like the same stuff. Oh look, Nami. I gotta talk to this. Everything dies, just says, plucking at some dead grass and blowing it away to the wind. Plants, people, civilization. Even this planet's gonna die. On a long enough timeline. He dusts his hands off and rests his chin on his knees. Why even bother fighting? Why try to do anything at all? Bro, relatable. Anyways, does this interest you? I probably could give him the rock. I bet he'd like the rock. I'm not really sure though. He plucks at the roots for a bit, then his shoulders slump. Did you give these to me because it's my birthday? He asks. I actually hate it when people make a big deal on my birthday. It's look, maybe you should just go do something nice for Tang. She actually likes the attention. That's a bit different than last time. Tang's was pretty much the same. Their friendship is about this. Tang's looks like a whole heart below this, but the fact that Tang is pretty up there is impressive. Because I literally like just kind of talked to her, and I studied a whole bunch. Not that it really goes to show, besides the biology, but that's sort of my friendship with Tang, really. really built. It's gonna be glow next, so guard duty is gonna give me 3 combat, 2 bravery. I really don't care about the fact that it's not giving me friendship with an enemy. I really, really do want that, so I don't really care for the fact that it's not. Okay, I realized it's saying that. I don't really care. I mean, I do care. The origin of that phrase is weird and whacking. I'm not liking the fact that I do not get friendship with an enemy, but the combat and bravery, along those nice kudos, will be good right before club. So we're gonna go do guard duty for the first time. I see Nem here already. My girl. You show up for orientation to guard duty. Face and Nem are here as well, listening intently to Security Chief Rhett as he teaches you the specifics of the colony's defenses. There's the walls, of course, and the lookout towers, and the robotic turrets. There are obvious weaknesses, like the gates, and less obvious ones, like the pipes that divert runoff water away from the colony. I feel like that one's obvious to me, but I can't really let anybody know that I was sneaking out in the past. They've probably still been onto me. And there are high-priority targets, like engineering and geoponics, which is crazy that engineering is still standing. You're surprised to learn that the living quarters are considered lower priority. Duh, Base mutters. During an attack, everyone's supposed to be defending the colony, not hiding under their beds. What about the children, Base? What about the children? It's a lot to learn quickly, and Rhett doesn't let you make mistakes. He drills you and drills you, first on your knowledge of the colony, then on actual drills, physical fitness and reflexes, loading and firing a plas rifle, securing a dangerous situation, and combat tactics both as a group and solo. If the lookouts on the walls see anything, you'll be the ones to shoot it, he says, as you struggle with reloading the cartridge in your pulse rifle. There might not be time to wait for backup. You have to be able to make and act on the right choice without hesitation. He looks you right in the eye. You're not only a guard while you're on duty, he says seriously. You're being charged with the defense of the colony itself. I expect you to be ready at all times to answer the call. Frustrated, you fumble the cartridge and it clatters to the ground. Rhett stops it under his foot. No slacking. Keep your mind and body sharp and ready for anything. Rhett leaves you to figure out how to reload your plas rifle on your own. Base is already finished, of course, but Nem stops what she's doing to help you. There's a latch. Here, she says, flicking it with him. If it's deployed, you can't click the cartridge in. Got it? You nod. It's easy when someone actually shows you how. She's kind of intense. When she immediately seems upset. Face scoffs. You deserve it for just using this excuse to slack off. Remembering your feelings is what it takes to make you colonists realize that defense isn't a hobby. I hope the chief chews you up and craps you out the other end. Face leaves in disgust. Nem shoots you a sorry look and follows him, trolling her rifle as she goes. I'm not here to make him proud. I'm here to make Nem proud, okay? I'm trying to help Nem. Here for Nem. Everything I've done is for Nem. And why is the 6 locked in the freaking middle? I can just make that a 7. The best I can do is making it a 7. To and from other cards. Makes that a 4 and a 5. It beats my super goal. And gets me 3 stars. I'm rather surprised. I don't really think I deserve that friendship with Daze after he scoffed and walked away. It's glow time now, baby. Okay, you're following him around a lot. You're clinging to him, my girl. I just don't like it. I don't like his vibe. I don't like his vibe. Okay, well, I'm pretty stressed. Very stressed, actually. Just looks up at the dark sky, illuminated by the fungal glow coming from the forest. You think it's gonna make a difference? He asks, not looking at you. The soldiers, the walls, the explosives. They're gonna keep coming harder and harder until we're dead. He's not really wrong? It's the wild thing. Can I even go out on an expedition during glow? You know, I just thought about when I haven't tried it. I've just done something during glow, usually like relax. Nope. Glow is no time to be exploring. It's far too dangerous. The gates are closed and survey expeditions halted until the light returns for a few weeks. I can't even sneak out anymore. Kind of a bummer. Because there's a crystal right out there that I would like to have. Oh. I have magic powers. Okay? Because I definitely could not reach that crystal. Don't lie to me and tell me I could have. I could not. The door was closed in my face. Couldn't have done it. They're over here instead of a geoponics. That's totally fair. Okay, I probably should relax just to drop the stress, because I know the stress is going to rise again during the glow. So let's see, do I want to relax on the walls? Yeah, we'll relax on the walls. We'll get friendship with this. The view from the wall during glow is absolutely breathtaking. The wormhole seems to smother the sky, like a swirling jewel-toned bowl pressing down on the gloom. Everything in the wilderness is lit up and seems to breathe in and out with the planet, like one living creature made of stars. It's beautiful. You could almost forget how dangerous it is. I wish to forget my crawling. Thank you for letting me forget a 0. You're relaxing in your quarters with your dad when you hear the colony siren. The enemy is here. Your dad looks up from his novel. Huh, seems early this year. We should head to the shelter in the lounge. You've been drilling on new evacuation procedures for the past month. There's no need to be a hero now that there are so many new soldiers from the Helio. It's probably best if you just follow instructions and head to the lounge when they're done. When have I done such cowardly things? I'm rushing to the front lines. You muster with the rest of the defense force at the gates. Rhett and Lum are arguing about what tactics to employ. Lum keeps trying to rally the soldiers with a heartening speech about giving it everything they've got. All the drones, all the explosive, and Rhett keeps cutting in. We don't need to take any big risks, Rhett insists. It's a smaller attack, and we have more than enough plasma rifles and turrets. We should save our other resources when we do need them. He instead had said, like, I bet Lum just wants to do a big show of force. Also, now that I can see the rest of his more of his leg. What is this outfit? What is this bit? Bro. No. Why do things halfway? Lum exclaims. We need to get in there and kick their butts back to the goo they came from. We need to show people that we have everything under control, for morale. Rat tries one more time to wrest control of the forces back from Lum, but Lum cuts him off. Fire the explosive rounds, he orders. Arm the charges. Bro. Shells scream through the permanent night, followed by explosions you feel vibrate through your boots. The Helios are unfazed, but you and the other Strato guards exchange nervous looks. You hear yelling, then another boom as the secondary explosive detonates. The baying of bloodthirsty animals reaches your ears, and then Lum holds his fingers to his ear speak. Great work, just the stragglers incoming. Open the gates. To battle! God, this is gonna go so horribly. So horribly. Well, maybe not the fight, but I mean like Lum being in charge. I foresee that going horribly. Oh look, I already had half on the first round. Gorgeous. Base value for... Oh yeah, from battle condition. +1 to physical red cards. Maybe we just do all the blues. Because I don't really gotta get a whole lot. Like this alone, boom. I could get 5 kudos immediately. Because it matches it perfectly. Am I going to? No. No, I'm not. Look, that was the super goal. I wouldn't even know how to do that. Card becomes 3. Well, guess what? Card is 3. Card is 3. I swooped right on past that super roll like crazy. Plus 10 kudos. You face off against a lesser Xeno, some kind of finned, semi-aquatic thing already half dead and limping doggedly through the gates. It's almost comical how easy it is to stun and kill it. By the time you're done, the other soldiers have dispatched the rest of the creatures. Smoke drifts in from the battlefield from the explosions, and a critic scent of triumph. After the attack, Lum gathers everyone in the lounge and holds a big celebration for the soldiers. There's feasting and drinking and songs of valor as the party goes on long into the night. Some drift away in pairs, or more. Mars and Rex keep the dancing going. Even Nem seems to relax, especially when the other cadets invite her to drink with them. Tonight, everyone seemed convinced that this victory means the colony will be safe forever. Maybe it will be. You sure want to believe it too. I don't, though. I don't believe it. I don't. So, we're back to 50 Rebellion. It's been a while. Mostly enemies got the love. Oh. It's wild. This is wild, crazy stuff. Game ends at the age of 19. I thought the game ends when I turned 20. That's what it said. I mean, that's fine. Only like when I would turn 20 is when the game would end. It's okay then. Start age 16. This is my birthday month. And you know what? I really don't feel like sitting here trying to figure out when these new people's birthday are. I'm not wasting my precious resources on new people. So. I was a teenage exocolonist birthdays. We're gonna figure it out. Oh, look at the wiki. Quiet season is myself. Early pollen is Rex. We've got a pollen. Mid pollen it's nobody. Late pollen is Tammy. Well, would be Tammy. Rip Tammy. We miss and love you. Early dust is an enemy, of course. Mid dust is Nami. Late dust is Cal. Early wet is Mars. Mid wet is Face. Late wet is Tangent and Dis. And then no one during glow season. So only glow season and mid pollen has nobody. And technically, the quiet season is just reserved for me, I guess. Look at me being main character and special. Okay, so there's likes, indifference, and dislikes. Likes give apparently +4, indifference +2, and dislikes is there's -1, according to this wiki. I obviously have nothing available. Rex is cake and mush with lots. No surprise he likes sticks. Tammy would have liked flowers, no surprise. An enemy likes red Xeno eggs. She's different about everything else. Nami likes my crystal clusters. Cal likes the blobber fruit. I knew that one. Mars likes crystals and yellow flowers. Everybody likes cake. I feel like I should preface everybody likes cake. On their birthday, especially. Or maybe only on their birthday, I don't know. Vase likes something called a strange device. Don't have that yet. Not surprised though. Tangent likes medicinal root and yellow flowers. Dis likes medicinal root and secret device. He actually does not like cake. My bad. I spoke too soon when I said everybody likes cake. Everybody but Dis likes cake. He hates it. My bad. Cake is Dis's only dislike. He's indifferent about everything else. He hates cake. Alright, bro. I mean, not everybody has to like cake. Alright. Started down with their universal likes with exceptions. Anyways, this is quiet season, so this is my season. Apparently, nobody else is allowed to have birthdays in the same season as me. Wild and whack. Steph, hate this. You leave the front gates and see Dis talking to one of the senior surveyors. He listens intently to their instructions, and the surveyor hands him a satchel of instruments and claps him on the shoulder before walking away. Dis turns to you. Hey, Solana, he says. He hikes the satchel on his shoulder and gives you a shy smile. It's still kind of weird to be allowed to be outside the walls. Leave him alone to do his work. Remember when we used to sneak out? Dis's eyes crinkle at the corners. It was so easy to avoid Chief Severitonin, he says wistfully. He ducks his head. Too bad he's dead. He was really nice to me. What's the weirdest thing you've seen? Dis looks up at the sky with a thoughtful look. There's this big rock in the western ridges. It's almost totally flat on top. When I get near it, it makes me feel happy. He smiles. It's so strange. It's really hard to leave. The first time I went there, I laid on top of it for so long and I almost missed the transport back. I know it's my job, but I haven't told anyone about it yet. He says, I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like it wants to be kept a secret. I'd love to see it sometime. A weird expression passes over Dis's face before he schools it back to his trademark blank look. Maybe, he replies. I don't know. I don't think he wants that. Dis looks pretty busy, so you say goodbye and let him get back to his work. You'll have to let him keep some of his secrets. For now. Alright, if this is what we're doing, Dis, I'm gonna go out and explore. I know I can't go way out there, so we'll figure it out. That's perception and biology. I'd only really gain the other stuff. I won't gain any perception. This one doesn't even give me friendship with this. I'm doing bravery and friendship with this. We're just gonna explore nearby. Oh my goodness, you got something to say to me, Utopia? Oh, this is the first time I've explored just outside, I think. In a while. Chief Severe Utopia stops you and Dis near the depot. Feel that? She asks. You can feel a kind of ominous, distant thumping, pulsing regularly through the ground. If you stand still, you can feel it vibrate up into your own body too, like a massive global pulse. Actually, this is my first time going during quiet as well, I think. Utopia says, checking a readout on her holopump. I reckon it's naturally occurring, she concludes. But it's giving me the willies all the same. You two better check it out. Mind you stick together and take readings on the way, in case it's dangerous. You and Dis look at each other, excited. You follow the thumping, now an audible noise, growing louder, west, until you've roughly triangulated its location. You know you're getting close, but it sounds like it's coming from all around you, and your instruments aren't precise enough to help. Follow the sound perception challenge? I can do that. I have such high perception. It's insane. I literally can't go any higher. Like, I've gone crazy over. Okay, we're doing this one, so we get to keep it between rounds. Just do 3 and 4. I don't know, actually. Do 5. It's not the best, but I mean, it's something, right? My goodness, look at all these stupid ones! Oh my god, stupid ones. I actually would like you to continue to be a 3. I need a 2. Set neighbors to this value. We don't like those. Okay, this gets me the streak. It is a bit upsetting that is that way, but I'm not going to use one of my valuables to fix it. So, let's see. We've got a couple keep between rounds, but mostly what I care about is the therefores. Let's do this. +1 for each unplayed card. You need to go to the front, my guy. Front. You're gonna be the biggest guy in the neighborhood. Okay. Nice, 33. 27, I'm surprised I even got all 3 stars. +4 perception, some kudos. I can't even gain perception, so that doesn't really matter to me. You find a machine, an ancient, broken down machine, like a small pyramid-shaped building made from some kind of dark stone or bone that almost looks like it grew that way. Thud of the thumper, quite the card, except it isn't broken. It's just so very old and overgrown, it looks more like a pile of rubble and roots than a building or engine or whatever it was. Still, a thumping noise comes from inside it. The vibrations are strong here, making your guts feel weird. kind of what happens when you vibrate aggressively. You don't notice it at first, but there's a curious path on the ground moving away from the machine. A line half a meter wide where the dirt is more than worn and bare heads off in a straight line to the west, or coming from the west. Could animals have made this path, or the thumper itself? My engineering's not so I just have to marvel at it. Again, an engineering part though. You run your hand over its pitted, vibrating surface. I don't feel like I should touch it. I mean, I can't control that, but I don't feel like I should touch it. Run your hand over its pitted, vibrating surface. How could something so unbelievably old still work? It's definitely not natural. You can even see something like writing carved deep in the not quite rock. Just starts making noise under his breath to the beat of the thumper. It's a pretty sick beat. So funny. Eventually, you head back to share your findings with Utopia. Totally an alien civilization. Insists. Utopia scratches her head. I suppose, maybe, she says. This looks a little ancient, right? Perhaps there could have been another civ here long ago. We found other signs, but nothing active like this. It seems to point west, or receiving something. She snaps her fingers. There's some right ugly ridge lines out there, though it could have kept us from checking that direction. But we got gliders and motivation. Let's have the battle. She makes a note in her holophone. I'll open up the western. Okay, those two words alone are making this like a tongue twister. Western ridges for surveyors, she says, then grins. Say that 3 times fast. I struggled to say it 1 time. Not even fast. Thanks, Utopia, for acknowledging it and game them. If I find anything, I get the kudos. Let's stick together out there. This is right. It's definitely aliens. Just not solemnly. This is right. It is definitely aliens. Whew. Keep exploring. I did not. I totally forgot that was the first half of all that. Oh, look, and I'm off to this side now. The colony outskirts have changed, which is part of also why I wanted to just explain it. The unseen path dips under your feet, engulfing you up to the hip in a large drift of fresh spark snow. You lose a boot while floundering in the snowbank and have to spend some time digging it up. Well, that's an easy perception challenge, apparently. But it's 100. Oh my goodness, just for fun of it, it's gonna be triples. -4 to last card. Well, what if it's the last card? This is zero. That hurts my soul. I can't do that. I can't because I can't do it. I gotta do all this. -7 to last card. -4 to last card hurts. I mean, I hurt her, so can't return home during battle. I didn't even mean to return home. Like, that was sheer accident. Okay. Didn't mean to click it. Beautiful. Super goal of 3. I just need to get 3 extra. Wild. You tunnel through the weird snow, popping your head up at regular intervals to see where you're going. Some funny creatures pop out of the snow to say hello. They look like pill bugs and are only about half the size of your thumbnail. That's super tiny. How am I even seeing? Perception. I don't need to answer my own question before I even finish it. They appear to be eating the snow, not you, so you leave them alone. Every so often, they square up with each other in a tiny burst of flames. You can't tell if it's an intimidation tactic or a mating display. You've heard the snow is flammable. Or you'd heard the snow is flammable. Yes, perception. I can totally gain more of that. Playing in the snow. You know what? I could do more of those, but I actually just kind of want to see what's around here. Hop ice can be dangerous in numbers, as you've learned in the past, but they're also small and can hide in the underbrush. You don't even realize you're surrounded. They've surrounded you until they come at you at once from every side. Defend myself from hop ice trying to fight me. Becomes physical red. You know what? I'm just gonna throw a red one on there. Pump and put big numbers right out the gate. Is that the best way to do it? Probably not. But I'm doing it. because who cares? Doing it anyway. I made that a whole 8. That's wild. I hit my super goal before even getting to the last one. Whack. Wild shenanigans. Okay, well, we don't want to do that. I don't want to change that. Well, was there another super? Oh no, I already hit the super goal. I just thought about that. I got a 0. But if I'm in a super goal, wild. Okay, well, I got no more perception because I got toughness and animals. Beautiful. Animals is getting there. It is 7 away from max. Toughness is 14 away from max. Combat is still 19 away. We're getting there though. The cute little critters kick you, but you kick back. You send them scurrying back off to pick on smaller creatures than you. Yeah, leave me alone. I'm just a little guy. We're gonna do this one again. This hot pie is acting really strange. It won't let you pass. It keeps thumping its foot on the ground really loud. This is the other one from before where it's just a thing. Card to the right becomes 3, which is locked in place. Beautiful. 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 We're just gonna do that, I guess. Value is wild. Well, it can become technically whatever I need it to be. Because that's how this works. Go see, look, the straight. Because it's a 4. Because I need it to be a 4. Okay? Ooh, actually, back. Oh, you're right, I can't move it. Lovely. How fantastic. I love this for me. That's already a 3, so just go ahead and put that in there. Put the 8 up there. Nothing really benefits from being behind the 3. It's okay though. Only because I have nothing less than 3. I only got 1 star plus 5 animals. It's only 2 away now. You stop trying to get past it and just listen. Oh, I got plus 3 animals. And perception, well, that last one kind of went away.
I thought I was going to get 5 minutes. I was going to see.
Back to exploring. Yellow flower. This new area that I can go to is like triggering my fear of heights because it's like super high up. And I can't not look down in a stuck perspective. Okay, there is that over there that I do wish to look at, but I still haven't found that crystal I was looking at earlier, or that I saw earlier. At this point, I feel like I should have just clicked on the other. I have looped all the way back around here. Where even am I anymore? I don't know where I went. I found this. Hey, this is an entirely different person when he's outside the colony walls. Without people constantly trying to correct his asocial behavior, it's like he has blossomed into someone who's actually competent. The more time you spend with him out here, the more glimpses you catch of the real Dis. Bet you can't do this, he says, jumping off a huge boulder and doing a cool roll at the end. Wait, no, bet you can't do it with your eyes closed. I can. You and Dis cavort around, daring each other to do more and more dangerous things. Dis isn't scared of anything. You think you see something up on one of the plateaus above you. The cliffside is covered in convenient vines. Video game convenience. Dare Dis to climb up there. Dis scrambles up the cliff, no problem. He turns around at the top. Now your turn. Well, you dared him, so you gotta follow through. The vines are slippery and dangerous, and some of them are even alive, and wriggle when you grab them. You lose your grip right at the top, and you slip and start to fall. But Dis grabs you. Thanks. Don't ever not let me fall. Plus one bravery. Got you, Dis exclaims, pulling you over the ledge. Your heart is thumping and you're all sweaty from fear, but you did it. Dis looks so calm and collected, even though he just climbed the same treacherous wall and had to save you from a long fall. Why doesn't he ever seem scared? The plateau is empty, but it provides a great view to look over the resting ridges. You and Dis take a break and watch the shadows creep across the dusty, craggly landscape. This is the life, Dis says. No school, no gossip, no bullies, no one telling me what to do or what to think. He props his elbow up on his knee and squints into the suns. Even with my augmentation in the colony, I always feel like such a coward. But maybe the problem isn't me, it's everyone else, you know? I'm not scared of any of the usual stuff. Monsters, getting hurt, even dying. Like, who cares? He continues. But humans keep finding ways to control people with fear. Well, they can't control me. I'll never call you a coward again. You might not be alive right now if it weren't for his fearlessness and fast thinking. It wasn't that long a fall, he says, but you can tell he's a little pleased you understand, too. I've finally learned his augmentation. Finally learned it. No sense of fear. I feel like I probably could have gotten that, honestly. He's adventurous, wild but not controlled, and rebellious. Unlike our good anemone here, who is loyal to a fault, energetic, and a bit between a mix of serious and goofballness. Whenever I look at his, he's not quite as loyal. He's really tough, not delicate, and very peaceful. I don't know his augmentation either. I just realized that. I know an enemies, which is armor scaled skins. When fish gets hurt, it essentially scalps over. Don't know cows. Engines reduce sleep. I just learned this, which is no sense of fear. Or at least he's a bit younger than me. She's younger than me. Oh, it's the other birthdays haven't passed. I don't know Mars because I don't want to hang out with Mars. I don't know what Tammy's was. Rex is doggy ears. I feel like it's been more than doggy ears if he's got fanged teeth. Nami, I don't know hers either. I also don't know faces. I just know he's 19. Cool. Cool, bro. Cool. I gotta loop back to the other thing I say as I continue to go the wrong direction. Ooh. This is the ridge. This is the technical end of the area. We'll do that while I'm here. Expeditions has been collecting energy readings from this area, tracing the invisible ley lines of power like the one from the thumper that brought you here in the first place. They've pointed you to this cave, a nexus of power at the convergence of many lines. You can feel the energy is different here, like a barely perceivable hum that prickles up the back of your neck, like something is watching you. It's likely this was some sort of important place for the convergent domain, Utopia says, leaning on her glider. I sent teams through, but it gets mighty tight in there. Maybe you and Dis might have better luck wiggling in there, she continues. Might be the caves inside open up again. If they do, take plenty of readings and report back to me. Dis is vibrating beside you on nearly the same frequency as the weird power fluctuations. This is the real deal, he whispers, mostly to himself. Utopia nods and leads you to it. What's the plan? Prep my gaming equipment. You get headlamps and a little recording drone with a floodlight attachment, and a tiny buzzing flying thing that circles around your head and sometimes illuminates what you want to look at. It's intelligent, which just means it won't do what you want. This bats at it in annoyance. Utopia's also left you an anti-grav belt with a warning to practice extreme caution when spelunking down there. They might make you lighter so you can climb more easily. And don't hurt yourself as much if you fall. Time to enter the cave. The narrow entrance leads to a bigger room that animals have clearly used as a den. It's enormous, with glowing mushrooms on the walls and piles of bones in some crevices. In some places, the walls are made of iridescent convergent domain obsidian. We're just slapping convergent domain on everything. Like this was once a great hall millennia ago. You can feel a cool breeze coming from somewhere, but it'll be tricky to find in the dark. This is a hard perception challenge, even with my maxed out perception. But we can do this. I believe in me. I don't like that makes it immediately a 4. Sure. Whatever. It makes that a nice 6. Whatever. We'll do it. It is what it is. I still don't like that becomes 4. Because that means I can't do silly shenanigans with this stuff. Because that one really throws it off. Now that's going to specifically become a 4. Well, there's a 7. I wish I had a 6 that was unchangeable. Because that would work out so much nicer. Maybe we just leave the 4 there. Say, screw it. And do these shenanigans. It's 32. What if I do that? That one? It just gets me the 33 goal. That's 37. Maybe do something silly and do that. Doesn't even make the goal. That's fair. Oh man, I can make things that are less than 4 become a 4. It's fine. We'll stop. I don't gain any perception. This is bravery, I assume? Yep. You find the source of the breeze by tossing some fine sand into the air and watching which way the dust blows. It's a very tight crack. Good thing you and Dis are so small. You squeeze through and have to shimmy along on your bellies for about 10 meters, pushing your gear ahead of you. It's uncomfortable, but Dis's excitement draws you on. Past the crack, there are fewer signs of animals. The walls are smooth, grown obsidian, which has a kind of melted rainbow oil slick look, like in the background of this image, I assume. There are deeply carved glyphs on the wall at various intersections, like room designations or street names, you wonder. And other kinds of basins, alcoves grown into the rock, full of odd protrusions, all ancient and worn and inexplicable now. It feels homey. You come to realize the convergent domain must have lived underground. That's why there are so few ruins on the surface. As you follow the cave complex down, it's clear this used to be a well-traveled path. The corridors branching off to other places are now blocked off, as if a big earthquake had rattled this whole area. This main Only this one main path is still clear. It's too convenient to be a coincidence. The floor of the cave slopes downward like a slide. It's quite slippery. I know that I can just choose to slip. Technically, I just would slip if I didn't have perception 40. Pay attention to my footing. Listen, stress. That's fair. You follow the cave system down, 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 all the way to what must be the bottom of the cliffs. You have to climb down a 3-story wall in the last section, and are grateful to your anti-grav belt for making it easier. You're still tired, though. You can see dim light below. Daylight? Probably not. I guess so. You emerge into a hidden valley, totally surrounded by tall cliffs. Did you just come down all that way? You're surrounded by the ruins of conversion domain buildings, in much better condition than the windswept ones on the surface. It's perfectly still here, and as quiet as space itself. More tempers. What was that? Dis whispers reverently. Reverently. Some sort of converger facility? And it feels so familiar. You remember this place from your dreams, and feel a throbbing sense of importance that is a bit unnerving. Something momentous happened to you here, or will happen to you someday. You poke around a little, then call Utopia and give her your coordinates. She swings down on her glider, with extra ones for you and discs tethered behind it. You're happy you won't have to climb all the way back up. She whistles, "Great fine, kids." Oh, my bad. I don't know if I can whistle like that, but nope, my lips are chapped. "Great fine, kids. This place didn't show up on any of our aerial scans. Took me a while to find a route in." "You look bushed," she says. "I'll take a round and get some readings, but you head on back to the depot and get some rest. Don't worry, we aren't going to push on without you." 5 kudos. I can keep exploring. Never mind. I'm going home, I guess. Forced to go home. Why'd you gotta do that to me, Utopia? I wasn't ready to go. I should have explored that other thing. I left it. I'll have to go and later. You're woken by the buzzing of your holopalm. It's a colony-wide alert. You rub your eyes and ponder the thickness of the air seeping into your bedroom through the open veranda door. It's an ominous but beautiful sight. The seasonal pale pink haze has turned a deep fuchsia, with scintillating silver sparks floating through it. The shimmer. The music really just kicked up in my ear, right? So they call me so awkward. And it's immediately quiet now that I called it out. Thankfully, you've all been inoculated against the shimmer, because this looks like a bad year for the airborne spores. To be safe, you stay inside and seal your door and windows tightly. You spend the time playing holo games with your dad. After a couple days, the pollen fog passes without incident. Mid-pollen. I am exhausted, so we're gonna go hang out in the garden with my pets, and maybe level them up. That'll be fun. Relax in the pup. You play with your hop solo while you hang out in the gardens. They're pretty well behaved, never straying too far from the underbrush, and always coming back when you call their name. I abound with my pet and empathy. Another Hopeye shyly approaches out of the long grass. Your Hopeye goes totally still, then lets out a happy chitter and bounces off to greet the stranger. They touch noses, then hop around each other twice. They disappear for a few minutes in the underbrush, long enough that you begin to get concerned. Finally, Hop Solo bounces back to you and nuzzles against your leg. They want to be picked up and cuddled, so you pop them underneath your shirt and carry them like a baby the rest of the way. That's so cute. Oh, and now Squiddly Fedderson. You've been working with Squiddly Fedderson for months and getting them to follow simple commands. You're getting pretty consistent results with 1 or 2 at a time, but they get bored and wander away if you try to do a longer session. You've set up a small obstacle course in the garden, consisting of a few ramps and balancing beams. Squiddly Fedderson looks at the treats in your hand, expectantly. Run that obstacle course. This is hard even with my 100 animals. Oof, we got this. If the highest card... Actually, well no, because that immediately makes it 3, so we'll just do that. I might leave my 8. I don't want to get rid of all of my 3s. Let's see. If we do 2, an unchangeable 2, That just becomes a 4, and there's a 3. That's not great. That's very much not great. Let's do a 5 there. Get rid of that. Do this 3. 23 at least. You know, that's better. It's not great, but it's better. I have to get 48 in this round. Rip me. Rip me. Let's just get stuff on the board and go from there. Let me start there. I'm so far from that. I don't know if I'm gonna make that. Okay, that's closer. I don't even have the stress. Dude, like if I was completely relaxed, I could push through for the stress. But I'm not even completely relaxed. So that's normally a 3. This is, I think, genuinely like the best combo I could probably do. Actually, well, maybe if I scooch that over. That's a little better. It's a little better. It's not great still. I guess we'll have to give up. Defeated. It's been a long time since I've had to give up. Squirrely Federation starts off strong, but balks at the balancing beam. They skitter back and forth nervously before slinking down the side of the obstacle and cowering in fear. You'll need to work on your empathetic connection before they'll trust you enough to complete the course. My animals is 100 and I still messed that up. The 2s are fine, I'll keep the memories. It's the 1s and the 0s I don't want. Late pollen. This is when it would be somebody's birthday. Clear mind, even no stress or worries, 10% chance to get a bonus +1 when increasing skills. Well, I'm gonna go back out. Back out and explore. We gotta get through pollen here. Survey the ridge. Gotta go back to that thing I left. Right. I still never found that rock. That's what I was looking for this whole time. I never found it. I just keep trying. This thing is, it loops up, and as it loops up, and I'm trying to go down, and down, never really. Down and right. I go so far left, down and right. It doesn't become that much. How did you loop back around to me? Oh my god, I about missed it again. Is it right around you? No, it's gotta be over there, right? It's over there. My goodness, I found it. Okay. I literally just wanted this rock. Because, I mean, look at these. Look at these rocks. These beautiful crystals. All this stuff. This wonderful stuff. Okay. Let's see. Here we are. You find your way blocked by a massive wall. No, a hollow pillar, knocked over and lying on its side in the sand. It's absolutely massive. It stretches to your left and right at least a kilometer in each direction. But at some point, it's crumbled enough that you can likely scale over it. Check it out. Engineering challenge. My engineering isn't great. And the goal is 70. I wonder if that's because my engineering's so absolute garbage. I don't know if I want to do that one. We'll do it. Purely because we're gonna do some rounds. Some lovely, lovely rounds. I need a 3. Ooh, +1 for each other gem card. Means that I should save the gems for next time. Let's see. +2 for each other gem card. And then we just lather on those gems. Still not enough. Smile. It's wild. +1 for each gem on other cards. This one each unplayed. Or what if we drop that one and we do this? It's 33. Nice. It's not the absolute greatest. Okay, but +12 on a card is wild. It's wild. Plus 1 engineering. This looks giddy as you follow the pillar to its base, a large pyramid almost entirely lost under the sand. You brush away some of the sand and find the pyramid is inscribed in all signs with pictures of, well, wormholes, you think. This pillar must have once stretched up into the sky. Maybe it was some kind of observatory or sacred building, or just a monument to the wormhole. Mysterious. Plus 1 enduring, plus 5 kudos. What did all that for? 5 kudos. And a couple engineering. Well, let's just start doing these. You haven't been down into the deepest crevice of the ridges, where the crystals grow thick and the air is stagnant and dead. It's already sweltering on the ridges. From the chasms you can see the heat warping the air almost like it's a permanent fog. Utopia says the air is so thick and still that you can't even use your glider down there. Then how did she glide down earlier? Just saying. At least one thing survives in the haze, though. While you take a break for lunch one day, you can see flickers of silver dart in and out of the fog, like ripples of light on a lake. As you unpack your tiffin box, the silver flashes come up out of the fog and begin to surround you. They're animals, eyeless, almost translucent creatures of the length of your arm, trailing meters-long tentacles behind them. Their mournful hooting is magical and strange. You look up on your holocron. Oh, here, squid babies. Wait, air squids are predators. What was that? Wait, they're predators. Okay. Star to the right becomes 3. We'll just slap on a bunch of 3s. Would this be better? I mean, 21 is obviously way better, but I kind of need some big beefy cards. Big beefy boys, you know? You know? Okay. 23. I just need to get 29 on this now. Okay, 6. That's a wild value. 4 there, another 4 there, and a 3. That gets precisely the goal. But what if... do that. That's 32? 32? No, we might as well just equal exact goal and give me those kudos. 1 star. But I got my kudos. You duck behind some roots and keep perfectly still as the creepy creatures float around and past you. They don't seem to be hunting for food. They must be on their way somewhere. Until they suddenly turn back and zero in on your location. You find yourself surrounded by curious baby air squids as their tentacles begin to parse over the ground, looking for you. You're not gonna get eaten today. You leave your tiffin and bolt, paying no heed to the noise you're making as rocks clatter down the side of the chasm. As you run, you swear you run right past someone. Wait, where did he come from? Behind you, you think you hear him make a low hooting noise. By the time you realize the air squid are no longer chasing you, he's gone. A mysterious stranger, 1. Not sure how I feel about that being labeled 1. Okay. That implies 2, which potentially implies 3. Every so often, you see absolutely massive creatures here, like giant snake dragons with thousands of legs and shimmering scales. They're so large that if one crosses your path, you're in for it. Which is exactly what you're doing. The gargantuan dragon has been slowly lumbering over this ridge for at least half an hour, its body disappearing into the heat haze of the chasms on both sides. Its feet slowly undulate across the cracked soil, making shushing noises and scattering boulders in its wake. I could just casually climb up on its back, or wait patient. I should. Let's be brave. +2 animals. I can't max out my animals. The creature is moving more than slowly enough for you to climb up, using its large, soft spikes as handholds. It's going to take hours to get anywhere interesting, but from up on its back, you can see further. Also, there are other creatures up here. You've climbed up right next to a cluster of corpse moth, heads tucked under their wings like they're sleeping. In the other direction, there's even a bush bug, or rather, it looks like a pile of rocks and some twigs. Wait and see where it's going. It'll take forever to get there. Well, sure, we'll wait. Centimeter by centimeter, the Goliath makes its way into the chasm. You feel the air grow thicker and less hospitable, until the sheer density of the heat and the drought make you feel genuinely concerned for your safety. You climb up the creature's back, segment by segment, until you're back on top of the ridge, then drop down the other side. Whew. Scary. I figured that I really wasn't going to get anywhere interesting with that, but I figured I'd try. You're scaling a huge rock plateau when you're suddenly overcome with an incredible feeling of peace. You never felt anything like this. You literally feel lighter, like all of your troubles have been lifted away. The feeling is stronger when you touch the rocky surface and you realize it's radiating from the rock. And Dis is here. This is the rock Dis was talking about. Dis is sunning himself on top of the rock, stripped down to his shirt. He looks up as your shadow falls over him. Oh, he says slowly. You found it too, huh? Oh, this must be the place Dis told you about. His favorite place on the planet. The rock that makes him feel happy. You know how he feels now. He shades his eyes from the sun as he looks up at you. I haven't told anyone about this place, he says. Well, except you. And that's how they get you, you know, he says. Once they know you love something, they can use it to control you. It's deep. Just shrugs. He doesn't seem to care if you're making fun of him or not. Must be the power of the rock. You're going to keep it a secret, though, right? Dis asks. I don't want this place dug up and studied. It'll ruin it. He scowls. People always ruin things, especially researchers. Some things you don't need to understand. It's our secret. You do take a few readings, though, just because. All data is important. You mark down the location, but fudge the coordinates so anyone they send out afterwards will get lost. You wonder if the rock is natural. Animals seem to really like it. As you're taking readings, you watch a swarm of dwarfsmouth bask on the rock as well, just like this. Then you lie down on the rock beside this, letting the strange magic fill you with an incredible sense of peace, love, and unity with the universe. Like you said, a really flat spot. I think it's neat. But let's keep going. Go until we're so stressed we can't go anymore. A precarious natural land bridge drops down sharply on both sides here. You kick a rock over the side but don't hear it at the bottom. Do you cross? Very, very carefully. You shuffle across it slowly, examining the cracks and sticking to the solid places. You accidentally send a few more pebbles skittering over the edge and think, better them than me. Up to the highest height. Yeah, that's Rex. +2 if this has the highest value, which has a higher chance since it's 6. Yeah, let's keep it going. Let's keep going. Is there... Okay, I was like, I hope there's more stuff. I don't have to loop all the way back. A beautiful little locust lands on your arm. It calmly washes its face with its forearms and vibrates its wings like it's cooling off. Ah, the poor little guy is all alone. Befriend it. A perception challenge. First collectible use is free, +1 to physical red cards. So card becomes 3, 18, 20. I don't want to get rid of a good 5, though. These things aren't the greatest to gem. That one's too good for other things. So I guess card becomes 3. Card becomes... There we go. Ooh, +2, that has the highest value. Well, it certainly does. Because it's a 7. So... Oh, that was a nice 33. Okay, put the 8 there. 6. Well, that's just a minus. It's -2, so maybe I don't have any more gym cards. I did that to myself, didn't I? I did that to myself. Well, I wonder, what is the super goal? Clearly not getting it. But what is it? What doth be the super goal? Who cares, I guess. We're just going. We're going. Can't get any more perception. Or animals. You look it up on your hollow palm. It's a maskwing named because when it's frightened it opens its wings all the way and flips them forward, making it look like a grimacing manticore. Scary. But even scarier is how much they can eat. They usually eat leafy plant matter, but they're not above eating fabric, wood, hair, or even skin. They swarm in dust and in hot places like the ridges. You see something out of the corner of your eye and look up from your new friend. Oh, in the distance you see a haze of the ground. It's locusts, each one bigger than your fist. These insectoids can eat their weight in under an hour. There are millions of them out there, and they'll be here soon. Your buddy takes off to join its friends, and you gotta go. You make it to your glider in time, thankfully. You come back to this place later in the week. What foliage there had been is now stripped bare. The only things still standing are the crystals glinting in the sunlight. Okay, I forget that I'm technically spending an entire month doing this. Like, just out exploring, which I mean is more logical. Oh my goodness. There's another. Utopia has given you clearance to poke around the ruins. Oh, I forgot that I was here. In the secret valley. Stars, this place is neat. This thinks so too. At least we don't have to climb back down again. He mutters, but you can tell he's excited. The buildings are arranged in a spiral formation around a central point. They're made of that oil slick obsidian, something that looks like a petrified bone, and have parts missing where some other organic material has long since rotted away. It's all overgrown with vines and buried in shifting sands. You follow the spokes of the streets until you approach the center of the valley, where a large pyramid-shaped building sits surrounded by thumpers and a variety of other small buildings. Check out the pyramid. You walk all around the massive pyramid, but you don't see any entrance into it. It's sealed tight. It vibrates with significance and looms hugely in your dream memories. You feel faint just being close to it, but just doesn't seem to feel anything. When he insists you give up and investigate something else, you don't complain. Take a look at the thumpers. The 4 thumpers are in careful alignment, forming a square with wide paths between them and the pyramid in the center. One is almost totally reduced to rubble. None are still active. Investigate the other buildings. Smaller, more deteriorated pyramid buildings dot around the valley, purposes unknown. There are also dozens of little obelisks, a couple meters wide, with a circular design on one side. You approach a random one of these on the edge of the valley. You lean on one of the round designs, and the iris dilates open, sections grinding back like the world's rustiest automated door. Now you're looking through a large round door into a small, featureless room. Quite small, quite featureless, totally dark, very creepy. But you can hear a faint hum. Is it still powered? Bravely walk inside. No. Oh, this is a hard challenge, even my bravery being what it is. Being 69. Okay, first card gets +3. That's rough starting off on a 3. Because I'd like to put a 3 there. But it's fine. It's fine. 23. I have to get a total of 93. That's a bit absurd. But let's see. This is a wild, so it does whatever I need it to be. So that's 16. That's horrible. Let's just plop that one there for each gem, first or last. Make that a 6 as well. It's 22. Still 22, 20, 23. Let's just do that one. 22. Okay. I need to get 48 with this, and that card gets a +3. Whatever I put there. +3. +2 to these cards to the right. That's gonna be a +7. That's wild. Absolutely bonkers. Alright, 48 is what I need, and this is a 30, regardless of what I do. So maybe we do that. That's a 26. 29. 30, I guess, is the best I can do. But that means I can't get in. So we're just gonna hold on. What if I put that there? Oh, +2 to this, to just the card to the right of it, regardless. Okay. We'll just make all of these 5s. Make that wild, isn't it?
Is it?
Mhm.
I need to talk to you.
Alright, give me just a moment.
I know you're streaming and I'm sorry. You want to go?
No, I do not.
Is it?
Doing a challenge. That's why I said give me just a moment.
I'm about to quit.
Okay.
But I need to talk to you about it first.
Okay. I'm doing my best to get a big number here. I didn't want to not go in there, but I can. Hold on just a moment. You walk in, Dis close behind, and suddenly the iris closes, the floor lurches, and you're moving down. An elevator. The elevator squeals and grinds away like it hasn't been used in literally thousands of years. It doesn't go far, then grinds to a halt, and the iris opens to reveal a large room with obsidian walls. Like all convergent domain spaces, it's more cave than room, with stalactites everywhere and giant lumpy mounds of fungus. You wonder if the obsidian stuff they built with melts over time, running and dripping in extremely slow motion. There are consoles on all the walls, like it's some kind of control room, maybe. Most of it is long, dark, and covered with a thick layer of dust, except one device with two weirdly bony, knobby sticks poking out of it. Touch stuff at random. You poke at things and grab sticks at random until suddenly you cease to be yourself. You're like a visual, audio, and weirdly tactile representation of something vast. You have a feeling of being in a large, complex space. No, like you are the space. A digital space, like a computer system, as if you were sucked inside a 3D representation of the HoloNet, and you could see files and processes and whole worlds of data, but in alien formats that speak to you more in sensation than logic. You let go of the sticks, and the console room comes back. You grab them again, and understanding fills your head. It feels not all that different from your bouts of deja vu remembering, like of memories being inserted into your mind, and you suddenly just know how to use this interface. You just think where you want to go, or what you want to know, and away you go. The word array comes to mind. A network of computers hosting millions of data nodes, information on every part of the planet, from weather to soil conditions to individual creatures. Not just computers, but entities that feel intelligent, and also digital artificial consciousnesses like your ship's AI congruents. They're processing all of that data and triggering subroutines to make minute changes on the planet's surface. Then a booming voice enters your brain and obliterates all else, speaking more in abstract thought than words, but loud. What are you doing in Wormhole Observatory Array Console 5, you nosy little creature? Then an explosion in your head, and you're thrown backwards and out of the array. There must have also been an explosion in your hands, which are now singed. The console is blown out and dead. You're shaken. Something didn't like you poking around in there. And whatever the array is, whatever lives in it, has been watching you, probably ever since you landed. You tell Dis about the array and the voice saying Wormhole Observatory. He looks around, impressed. The congruent domain sure was up to some crap, he says. And now you know about the array and how to access it. That could come in very useful if it turns out to be a danger to your colony. You decide to call it a day. Your arms feel all tingly and weak from getting electrocuted, and your heart is still thumping a mile a minute. But you'll be back. Just keep exploring. A little bit more stress. I could probably explore a couple more. And then call it. Oh, my pet's just teleported.
All the things that could have happened, I literally just had to stand for it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
It's alright. In other news, I got another pet. I named him Hop Solo.
In bad news, it turns out I only have $58 left.
Hmm.
Turns out the good idea that purchase was not something I should have made, and I had forgotten that I had made a purchase prior to that. Said purchase happened to be my monthly subscriptions deciding that they were going to fuck me again.
As monthly subscriptions do.
I'm sorry.
The sun goes behind a cloud, and you feel a light splattering of rain. It sizzles into the dry, hot ground around you, providing a little relief from the heat of the day. Then you realize you don't see a single cloud in the sky ahead of you, and it almost never rains in the western resting ridges. The plants here rely on nighttime dew for moisture. Just run. You bolt for cover with your hands thrown over your head. You don't even care what's up there. You just know that was no rain. I suppose I probably should have looked at it. Oh well. Last one. You're treated to a spectacular sight. An enormously long caterpillar dragon kind of creature way off in the distance. Its thousands of legs and kilometer of shimmering bodies snaking in and out of the haze at the bottom of the chasm. You just watch it. It's terrifying. It's like a train. Take some readings. Alright. It's so far away, but you record its movement coordinates and take a video for Utopia. I love you too! Alright, time to go home because I'm super stressed. Technically, I could squeeze one more in with the 5. I'm so stressed. There is a strange heat haze shimmer across the path ahead. Oddly, it doesn't clear up as you get closer. The mirage effect is very strong. The refracted air makes it look like there's a pool of water on the ground and plants waving around in it. But something is just off about the illusion. You can't put your finger on why. Let's investigate. 3 rounds of shoof. Technically my best bet, so it's 26. Let's just do the 32, 23. That is the last card, so I guess we want to do that. It's another 23, that's pretty good. 3, 2, 2, let's do 3, 2, and 1. Oh, that's literally 1 away. It's wild. Let's to if that's the highest value, but I really need the 3. More importantly than I need anything else, really. What if we do that? It's 1 shy. Still, of course. Because why not, right? Why not? Okay. There we go. Use some of my 10 million logs. The faster you move, the faster the mirage disperses. You approach it cautiously. As you do, you realize what is wrong about the mirage. It's impossible. The plants on either side of the haze are different. Not just wibbly-wobbly from the layers of air, but bigger, older. And it's a different time of day. Evening, now morning. Then you see her. It's you. Through the heat haze, you see yourself in the distance, walking towards you. You move to the edge of the mirage and peek around it, but she isn't there. You can only see her through the heat haze. It's like some kind of doorway or mirror. Call out. You shout, "Hey you!" and wave your arms around and jump up and down. The figure looks at you curiously. You. It's definitely 100% you, staring back at you in a mirror. Your movement seems to disturb the mirage, which breaks up and fades before you. Behind it is regular morning, and you are now alone again. Weird. But you were not tired to continue. You have to go home now. This should end the season 2, though. And is a good time to end. The beginning of Dust. I just have to make sure that... Never mind, I'm gonna give my gift to... If I give the gift to her now, it's probably just better. Where is an enemy? Gift, and then I will get off. You gotta celebrate your birthday first. Nem lifts the bottom edge of her shirt to wipe her face. I've been training this heat for 6 years, she says, smiling mischievously. I've got the home advantage. Here, I got something for you. This. The egg. Because it is my birthday this week. I kind of forgot. How close are we? She's 2 away. She's 2 away? Nem is leaning on the fence that goes around the outdoor training yard, watching the soldiers train. Specifically, she's watching this. You elbow her in the side. She jolts and laughs awkwardly. What's up, son? She's about to train. It's time. Okay. Save. This one, overwrite. Nice. Okay. Back to main menu. Stream for a whole extra hour than I intended to, but it happens. Good night.